All right, all right, all right. We want to welcome everybody to the very first Gospel Go Go, the stories behind the crank. We have one of the goats of Gospel Go Go. He's on my Mount Rushmore of Gospel Go Go, probably on yours too. So we're going to get to know the stories behind Demond Teller, Pastor Demond,
Yes.
D-Roc, the man of many names. I also would say this: the anointed scream is what we call it, right? Hey, if you've ever heard any of Exodus, you know that Demond is Mr. Energy, and he's electric, and he's a leader, he's a trendsetter, and when I say if it wasn't for Demond's leadership and guidance when it came to Exodus, we would have never became what we became. So
Wow.
salute. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
So
Thank
let's
you.
go ahead and get this thing broke.
Yes. Let's go. I'm
Yes, yes.
excited. Let's go.
All right. So let me ask you this: where are you from? Just so the world can know.
I'm from the DMV, DC area. You know what I mean? Born and raised was in DC, then moved over to Oxon Hill. So DMV. That's it. You know what I mean? I've been most of my life around here. So all my life, really. Hey, 50 some years now. That's crazy.
50 years. That's
Yeah,
right.
remember I had my 50 a couple years ago. So 51 right now. Yep.
Hey, that was a great birthday party.
Yeah.
You have to do it again. We have to talk
Yes.
about that electric, amazing band that you put together for that night.
Right.
So,
Right.
hey, we'll talk
I'm
about that,
thinking about it. I am thinking about it. So, but I'm, when I go out there, I'll be looking at everybody else like, whoo, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm thinking about it though.
especially. All right. So, the mom. So, where did you first experience go
Go go or gospel go go?
go go?
Go go. Whoa, my God, I was a young boy. My god brother was living with me years ago. Probably I was probably like 10 or 12, and he used to ride me back and forth to school, in his car, and I was listening. I think it was Red Essence back in the day. You know what I mean? So he was, cranking Red. I didn't know what it was, but he played. That's all he played was Red Essence, back and forth. So that was my start, and literally from that day to today, you know what I mean? I've been involved with Go Go from listening to Red Essence to JY was the next band up for me. Then I from JY, I went from JY to Northeast Groovers. Then I was Northeast Groovers head for a minute, you know what I mean, still him. And but that was my thing right there. So I was where JY was playing at, I was gonna go see JY. Where Northeast gonna play at, I was there. I was at the Met. So that was my thing starting with Ray Essence all the way up to Northeast.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So, how did you get involved in gospel go?
Okay, Gospel Go Go. I mean, this is history right here. Just for everybody to know. I started going to church probably like 93. So 93, I started going to church, and a couple of guys from the neighborhood. We was like, okay, let's start doing some things for God. So we went to a youth night, and guess who the youth pastor was? It was Keith Battle years ago. Youth night, and it
Really?
was this group. Uh, what is the name of the band? How do I forget the band name? Um, Joshua Generation. We went to go see Joshua Generation. It was in Gaithersburg. Joshua Generation was at this church called Mount Nebo, and that's the first time I really heard gospel go-go, and they was cranking. I'm like, okay, so again, I'm coming from Northeast Groovers, from the Met back, from the Met and all those type of things. So when we left there. Me and my friends left there. They said, "Dang, you can play gospel go-go," and that's one thing. Okay, we're doing the God thing, but then I love go-go. I mean, I was doing the go-go's probably 5 times a week. We was going to see somebody everywhere. So to come out of that and to come to see this gospel, we said let's start our own band. So we literally started putting our band together probably at the end of '93, beginning of '94. So we started really getting into it, practicing at people's houses. going from, wherever we could practice at. We even practiced at Pastor Tony house. That was our main spot at first, my apostle, and we began to practice there. Then we go all over the place and literally just practice till we literally create our own show, really, with the Friday night jams. But we create our own show, and it's history from there. But that's how I really got started. Watching Josh's Generation, I still think about that like that, and that gave me the momentum and the power. It's like, we can do this. If they can do this, we can do this. And they were sounding like JY back then. So we're like, oh, if they can do it, oh, let's do it. So that's how we got started.
Okay. So Exodus officially started in 1993.
93. We was in my basement talking about it. It was me, Lil Tony, and this dude named Pug. And we literally was talking about how can we put a band together. Then we start putting pieces together, trying to put pieces together. And we start bringing people in. And that was the history from 93 on. 93, and I think it went to 2003. 2004, I think they did a couple of reunions when I wasn't there, but we'll get to that. But definitely, 93 was the official. And then we started really playing like around 94, something like that.
Okay. All right. So, for everybody that's watching, can you explain who Little Tony?
Yes, Lil Tony was actually one. He lived in our neighborhood, but it was Apostle Tony Breslton's son. So he was one of the originators. We was all going to church together. He's the one that actually pulled the neighborhood us out the street, really, and started bringing us to church. We used to always play basketball. And he said, "Hey, why don't y'all come to the church?" So we started off with that, going to the church and just trying to, get something positive, because we was doing some stuff. But anyway, he started bringing us out of that, and he was one of those that was the originator. Hey, let's get started, and we moved from there. He was the lead mic and all that at the beginning. So that's how we got started.
Okay. And this is out of Victory, right?
Yeah, this is out of Victory Christian Ministries International. Hey, I think I'm a pastor there at one of the churches now. So yeah, out of Victory Christian Ministries International, they started literally. We started practicing there. We started practicing again. Apostle Tony and Cynthia Brazelton. We had the opportunity to practice in their basement to get started, and literally, I praise God they were able to listen to us, because we didn't sound good at first as we continued to go on, but they allowed us to practice there. Then when we got to church after 5840, we talked about that. That's when we started practicing there and going from there, and then the rest of it was just history. We started creating our own sound, creating our own shows, and then start getting the buzz that way.
Okay. Okay. So started in 1993 out of Victory Christian Ministry.
Yes.
And okay, so what was the first practice?
What was the first practice like? I think the first practice, really, we didn't have that many people there. It was I don't even think we had a Congo play from what I remember at the time. It was me. We had on the front line. It was me. It was Pug. It was I want to say Tony on the front line. Then on the drums, I can't remember who we had. Was it Marcus? It was so many people. You already know, it was so many people that came in and out. But at the beginning, our first practice was literally like, what are we going to do? What are we going to name ourselves? Where's it going to start at? So our practice was more like a structure in the band. What do we want to sound like? Because some people like JY, some people like Essence, some people like Northeast Group. We're just trying to find our balance in that. So our first practice was like that. But then as we kept having practice, we started inviting more people, started inviting other people to try to create the band and create the sound we was looking for. So we went through a roster, but we was able to click after a while.
Okay. So the very first show was at a Friday night jam. Is that correct?
No, first show was that a Friday night jam? I think the very first show, yeah, it was a Friday night jam. We created Friday Night Jam, and the goal was, at the time, we was young people just trying to find something to do on Friday nights. We was tired of going out to the movies and eating. When you get saved, or you get fat just sitting there eating and going to the movies. So we went to start saying, okay, what can we do for the youth? What can we create for the youth? So our youth pastor, you already know, Elder Bell was saying, hey, why don't y'all create your own, your own thing? So we started the Friday Night Jams on 5840 Kirby Road, and we started off slow, and we just did it. First, we still did it once a month. Then we started doing it every other month. Every other week. Then we started doing it weekly, and we got a catch. So we was able to create our own table, and we ate there. So we created our our audience. We create our sound. Then we was able to start getting buzz like, hey, once y'all come here, once you come there. But that's how it really started. With the at 5840, it was Friday Night Jams was like our starting point. But it got us out there. So I I
58.
tell anybody who's doing a band, hey, if nobody you're not getting no shows, make some shows. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of times we wait for people to call us. So I'm learning now. You got to if you don't if there's no table to pull up to, create your own table and a chair. So that's what we did during that time. So.
Right. So started out at Friday Night Jams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you you all were your own promoters.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So and this was at the 5840 Kirby Road location.
Yep.
That's where
Yep.
I came into that instance of it, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But Victory had other starting points too, right?
We had yes, yes.
Um,
So yeah, we did all our own promotions. We created our own flyers. I mean, we did that weekly, create our own flyers, pass them out. We'd go to neighborhoods, pass them out, jump out, you know what I mean, people, schools and stuff like that. Back in days, we didn't have internet like that. So we had a hotline. So me and my wife, we paid for our own hotline, had that going. So we started off that way. So that it was literally word of mouth, grassroots, come out, check us out, and in that it began to grow and mature. So.
okay, okay. And just so folks know, uh, I used to play in Exodus for a stint.
You didn't just play. You was on the front line.
At,
You was
well,
also remember that part.
well. You remember there are okay. So
There's
everyone
levels to this day.
there are levels in Exodus, right? There are eras, in Exodus, right? So
With an
you
S.
were a gigantic, right? All right. So we have the first the start of Exodus, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one. That's era number one, right?
Yep.
I believe I came in on era number two. Is that right?
Yeah, you came in. Probably came in around era. Yeah, era number two.
Era
Yeah,
number.
because again, some people was pulling. Yeah, because we first started, we started off with it was me, it was Marcus, it was a dude named Twinkie, Corey, it was Pug, it was Alpha. Started off with us. It was my brother-in-law Q started off with us playing guitar. It's we had a lot of eras, but I think that was like our starting point right there. And then the second era came around. I think you was in there. That's when the Shay was there. That's when again Marcus was there. I think we might have brought Dante then. I think
No,
Dante came over there.
third.
He
That's right.
maybe beginning like in the middle. Yeah, 2.5. He came in because we just had two keyboard players. Andrew, Congo player. We had I think around the time that might have been it.
Howie for a stretch.
Oh yes, Howie. Oh yes, Howie was there on the drums. So we had a lot of people that was there on the front line. Who was on the front line? It was me. It was Mark. It was me. It was you. It was who else? Winston. Did Winston come in? I think he came around the second
Um,
time.
what was the guy that used to sing? He
It
sung.
was
Man, I can't even think of
that
the
was
word.
that was Andrew friend. What was his name?
No. That was after. I'm talking about before. Um, I can't even think of the name. Oh, because uh, uh, I should have wrote all these names down. I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna have to come
Trust
back.
me, I don't know. It's a lot.
It's um, we had okay. So while we work on these names, right? So
Hmm.
tell us about the
Hmm.
first time Exodus got kicked out of a church.
Oh wow, we going all the way in. So we was at a church. This was one of our first times we were out. Again, we started getting a little buzz. So we went to a church. It was a youth event. So we went there. We was playing, and literally, I mean, when we started playing, of course, everyone, all the young people came down to the front. They was coming down running, and they was dancing. They was praising God, and they was, having fun. We always having fun. So after we finished playing, the first second, I think we had two sets. After we finished playing, we was sitting down, and I guess the youth pastor or pastor was up preaching, And then he started preaching. Then as he stops and started looking at us, talking about what we're doing is not of God, and this is, what I mean, you're going to hell. People are going to hell. I mean, this is not. I mean, God is not being glorified. And so we're sitting there. We're young, so I'm sitting there not really worried about me, but worried about everybody else around, like y'all around. I'm like, Ty, this is not right. How we're literally doing something for God. We've seen God move in this. We know this is God. We got the backing of our apostles. We got the backing of our you pastor, everyone. And then, I mean, literally, he came off the pulpit and literally just started pointing the finger, just telling y'all, this is not of God. This is, the devil is in this, and y'all need to repent. Y'all need to give your life to Christ, and our kids will not be subject to this. And literally, y'all need to leave now. So we like, and we literally packed that stuff up. I mean, we sat outside the church probably for a couple hours, just like, wow. And but literally for me, it was hurtful that they didn't understand. But it was like, okay, this is what we got to continue to do. We're not gonna start. I know this is God, so people gonna get this. I mean, but literally they was pointing a finger. He get y'all stuff and get out of here now in the middle of the service. So you see the kids' face. They were shocked. They was upset. They were crying. And we left that church, and there's literally we were like, what do we do here? How do we handle it? So we gathered the truth, got together. We literally prayed for the people, but it was one of those that was really like, I've never in my life experienced that. That was huge. That was one of those nights that literally you were gonna start, keep going, or you're gonna stop. But in that we kept going. We was like, no, we're not gonna be stopped. I mean, hey, and we didn't stop. That is put more fuel on it. Instead of letting us go, putting us out, that put more fuel on it. So we went back to the lab. Okay, let's get some more original sets. Let's make things that, again, get people to Christ. What are the words we want them to repeat? So we definitely start going to the lab and literally just knowing that we're not just singing, we're singing about Jesus. So, but that was one of those hurtful joints right there. I had felt a tear go down my eye that day. I'll never forget that. I was like, what?
we definitely had some very interesting instances.
We had
right?
a whole lot.
They love us or they hate us. But it definitely became an instance where God took over, and they sure did love us, right?
Yep, exactly.
But, I think the devil tried to trip us up, tried to stop us from becoming who we became. Because you think about it, if we would have stopped doing it, we wouldn't have this conversation right here today.
Would you have all the bands? Say it again.
Would you have been a pastor?
I don't know. Honestly, I think everything that I learned in Exodus, from leadership, what to do and what not to do, people management, allowing people to grow, I was hard. Because I came out from smoking weed, drinking, having sex, doing all this type of other stuff. So I was kind of hard. Hey, y'all need to, and I had to learn people management. I had to learn give people grace. I had to learn people got to go through their own process. Their process is not your process. And I believe, honestly, one of the stepping stones for me to be a pastor, it took me being a leader of Exodus. It took me going through you leading your peers. I'm leading my peers now. One, being there for people instead of ridiculing people. My goal was, I just want the best for them. They don't want the best for them. Blah, blah. I had to realize as we're going through the process, hey, people got to go through their own process. And will you be there for them? So I believe that Exodus was a stepping stone for me. It helped me grow, helped me mature, develop. So now being a pastor, I had to have more of a understanding. So, from Exodus, I went from being Exodus to being the team pastor at two of our locations at Woodbridge and Sewin. So that helped me also develop from what I did with Exodus. So yes, I believe Exodus was. I don't know if I'd really be a pastor if it wasn't for Exodus. I'm just to be honest.
God know what He's doing.
Yeah, He do. Yeah, I didn't. It was all Him. I did. I was like, wait a minute. So, but I thank God for it though.
I can attest. He was the drill sergeant.
Hold up.
When it came to practice, we had some of the best practices in the world when it comes to just creating, right? I wasn't a writer. I was just there on the front line, right? I played my part, right? And
you did good though. I'm for real. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
sir. But when it comes to seeking God's face and then allowing God to use you and create, you set the bar for that.
Wow.
You set the
I
bar for that.
appreciate that. I think that's so important. I think that's what got us through, really. I mean, we was all trying to figure out, we was all trying to figure out this gospel go because it wasn't really out there like it was, you know what I mean? But also we was trying to figure out our walk with God personally. All of us was, you know what I mean? Okay, you know what I mean? And we was young, you know what I mean? So you're trying to figure out God, you're trying to figure out how to be a man of God, you're trying to figure out how to move, and then but also trying to figure out, you know what I mean, how we're gonna get this music out that we know it's on the inside of that we committed to, but really we were trailblazers, literally trailblazers. So it took the practices. It took getting in the presence of God. It took us having those hard conversations. It took, you know what I mean, all that stuff. It took us, you know what I mean? But think about when we start getting gigs and going to colleges and Bowie State and all these other stuff, when we was riding that blue van, when we was riding, you know what I mean, we got tight together. You know what I mean? We start getting to know each other. There was a more of a bond when we started doing ministry. And I think that's so important. Also, the Bible says, know those that you labor among. And as we was going through doing what God told us to do, we was, you know, we got to know each other.
Speaking of the blue van,
Yes.
if we had to travel, if anyone had to travel nowadays, the blue van that we're talking about, it was a passenger van. It's pretty
No,
much
it was a cargo van. It was a
car,
cargo van.
and it had no seats, no seat belts. We had speakers, instruments, people. Thank God, His traveling mercies were with us.
Yes, we
And we went everywhere.
we got there. We went everywhere in that blue van. The blue van show up, you know, extras here.
That okay, so let's backtrack a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
We had Friday night jams,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, so let me ask you this: you said that Joshua Generation was the first influence on gospel go on X,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
So everyone knows Joshua Generation is the very first gospel go-go band ever.
Yep.
Right?
And then Gideon Band came and did go-go. Gideon Band came second. They did go-go too for a little bit before they went the way they went. But it was Josh Generation, then Gideon Band came a little bit. They did a little bit, and then went to the, you know, more contemporary. So, but that's a band I knew. That's the only band I knew. So.
And TCB Tony, said that they were the third band to come out, gospel go-go band.
Oh wow!
Right?
Okay.
Okay. We got a lot of history, right? All right.
We do.
I remember going to see Gideon at Marsha Sumner's. Who was it? The
Holy Ghost Throwdown.
Holy Ghost Throwdown. That was uptown at Eleanor Roosevelt. Is that right?
I think that's right. I think you might be right on that one.
Marsha, just so people know, Marsha Sumner's was a radio host on, was it 1580 back then?
1580. Yep.
1580 on the AM dial. So before there was a Praise 104, there was a 1580.
1580. Yep.
So she used to have steppers and groups, and then she would have Gideon play at the end, right?
Yep.
And then guess who were able to play as well? We Exodus. I mean, we had, it was like pull the curtains and there's 1,000 people out.
Yep.
You got
that drum. Ooh. I remember the first night of that. I remember the very first time we played there. Right before the show, for some reason, Lil Tony couldn't leave. He was lead talking, and so I don't know if it was Elder Bell or if we had Rob by then as manager. It was like, well, you gotta lead. So I'm like, all right, cool. Man, they rolled those curtains up, and you see 1,000 kids there. I think we let that beat ride for like 5 minutes. I couldn't give us a
together.
What? What's happening? But that was wow. That was powerful right there. I mean, literally, and you're not exaggerating. That place was packed with kids. I mean, literally. That's one thing I can say. In that era, it was like kids were looking for something to do for God. You know what I mean? And we had the opportunity to be involved in that. That was big. That's big.
We have one message from Apostle Tanya Mitchell.
Okay.
Mentioned persuasion. We didn't mention
Persuasion, yes. So persuasion, I don't know where they came in. Because Mark St. John Carson. And honestly, they might have came around the same time as Josh Generation, or because I know they used to have like watch nights or something like that.
was
Something
it
called
for worship, or was there before that?
concert for worshipers. And I think I think they did concert for worshipers, and they was doing go-go dance. So yeah, persuasion. So persuasion, I think it was first band I heard again was Josh Generation, Getting, and then Persuasion. They had a go-go field. They had this guy playing. I forgot his name, but he was, you know what I mean, doo doo boo doo 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 doo. I mean, it was. I know that sounded like a Bama, but they were, yes, Persuasion. Gotta say Persuasion. Yep.
We got another message from
Oh, look at Dante.
Richmond, Exodus
Yes.
band
Yes.
player extraordinaire, Mr.
Yes. Keyboard and percussions.
I never knew he played percussion.
I'm telling you, we had all type of people. We were just switching up because remember Andrew played drums
Mm-hmm.
and then with the cargos, with, you know what I mean. Then we found some keyboard, and then I thought he might even play keyboard a little bit too. So yeah, we were just trying to find our sound and find out where everybody is. One great thing is we had a lot of people who knew how to play a lot of stuff. So that was a plus for us. You know what I mean. And then when everybody was able to settle down where they was, that's when we was able to lock.
Right. So okay, so we talked about Holy Ghost Throwdown.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about Friday Night Jams.
Yep.
And Friday Night Jams went on for how many years?
Years. And Friday Night Jazz went on probably, I want to say we did like 6 years, 6, 7 years. It might have been longer than that because after a while when we moved over to the other location in Suitland, we started doing like monthly when I was there. So news pastor. So it was some years. We kept it going. We kept going, and we was bringing all type of people in there. We had a lot of people come through there. I mean, it was years ago. You probably won't remember this, but it was a group that came by, and they sung, and Tank was singing with them.
Come on, songs.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You know,
I,
he went to our high school.
yeah, he went to Crossing High School, Crossing Cavaliers. Let's give it up. Got to, you know what I mean? And I remember Tank back in the day when he used to have a group in the school. You know what I mean? When I was in high school there, they all used to dress up in suits. Literally, I remember Tank. So I mean, so the Friday Night Jams, we was able to bring a lot of people through that. Today, you look at them like, oh, I remember him. Oh, I remember him. So definitely, it was a good experience for us. We did a lot with that Friday Night Jam. We took it from nothing to we were standing room only. You know what I mean? Bring the sound system in after a while, everything standing room only. So that was a good experience for know how to put events together and stuff like that.
So we definitely will be talking about our gospel go-go. We will be talking about that soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got our history. We got over 30 years up in here. Honestly. Over 30 years.
Yeah.
So you can't eliminate that. Nobody can eliminate that. What God did with us for 30 years, and we still doing it. I want to go see Out the Box this on Sunday. We still doing it. We still doing it. So we've definitely got.
Shout out.
Already know. Keep.
Shout out to Tony. Used to be Tony with
Yep.
Out the Box experience.
Yep.
Drinking gospel go-go. Or
Yep.
Inspirational gospel. Inspirational band. Depending on how you want to say it.
Whatever you want to call it, they was cranking. It could not be denied. Let's put it that way.
And as a public service announcement, Out the Box Experience plays on every first Sunday of the month at Shark
At the
Bar.
Shark Bar. Yep.
So check them out on Instagram, Facebook, your social media, and go check them.
Trust me.
Okay, so we've talked about Friday Night Jams. Talked about talked about Holy Ghost Throwdowns. What do you remember about? Was it Love? What was the one that was in the mall in Lanham when they had the mall? on the backside with your
Uh,
was that Club
Club, was it Club JC's?
Club JC.
Club JC's, yes. Club JC's for Yolanda, and I forgot who her husband was. He was because he was a bouncer, and I know him from Go Go's. What was his name? Mitch Butch. At the beginning, I forgot his name, and we used to go up there. I mean, that was one of the beginning that she actually opened up the door for us. I see people now that playing bands now that used to be there, open up for us. I forgot the dude's name. He used to play for somebody. I just saw him the other night. But so yeah, that was she people start opening up doors for us. You know what I mean? We start coming up there, playing and watching our back and everything. But we would go up there, New Carrollton, and we'd have a ball. We would definitely have a ball. So that was fun. What I do remember about that was that's when I think we really settled in who we was. You know what I mean? And one thing I realized when you have a each and every, or you have somewhere you can play consistently, you start finding your groove and the band. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't got practice like that because you already know we're gonna go right here after. So I think when we start doing those type of shows like that, we start finding who we was, and we was able to get another fan base because I think chosen disciples used to come up there. You know what I
That's
mean?
first thought.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had the opportunity to start hanging out with them. That was a different crowd for me from Chosen Disciples. And they was coming out of what's the name of that church? I just
Was it a sanctuary?
no, it wasn't a sanctuary.
Uh, right there in Forestville.
Yeah,
Uh,
what is his name?
Deron
The
Cloud.
Deron Cloud Church. They come out Deron Cloud Church. So what
Anybody
is it? His
in the
name is
comments know the name of the church? Drop the name of the church.
what is it? Soul Factory.
The Soul
That's
Factory.
exactly what it was.
They
Soul
had all.
Factory. So
Matter of fact, that's when they started to play.
yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.
The
Yep.
plays was amazing.
We had
Made every,
they do that Central High School. Yep.
them plays made you change your life.
Yep. Exactly. If you didn't, you was something wrong with you. Must have been high that day. You know what I mean? But I must say, those were the things that we was able now to begin to get out of our bubble of the Friday night jams, and we begin to be able to broaden out. See new people, bring them to the Friday night jam. You know what I mean? Get on the shows. So yeah, so that was during that time. So yes, Club JC's. Oh my God, and she's still cooking. I don't eat meat like that now, but she had a vegan soul restaurant around here, down here where we at, and she's still cooking. Right.
Is it open? You might as well plug
It's
it.
not. She shut down. I don't know where she is now, but she was. I mean, I'm like, Shalon, you still cooking? Vicious food. Well, I'm saying vicious.
All
So
right, we won't have to figure out that name and blast that because everybody. All right,
right.
so let's jump back a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of jumped a little forward there. Um, do you remember playing at GW? No, George Mason
George
University.
Mason.
It was like a monthly or a,
Yeah, we played it monthly for I think like 6 months or something, like maybe longer than that. But I remember we was down there for a long time. So we was at George Mason. We did Morgan. We did UMBC. We did
Bowie State.
Bowie State. We did so many Howard University. Oh, that Howard University show.
Oh
Oh
wait,
my God, that's a joke. Yeah, we haven't
actually
got there yet.
two versions of how, but we go.
Yeah, we did twice, did.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did Howard University, and then we Howard University. We was inside the chapel too.
right in the
So
gym and in the chapel.
yeah, we did a gym and chapel. Yep.
Some kind of concert, right? Or
Yeah.
when the gym, right?
But the one with Jim, it was like I don't know, it was like a war program because Deion Sanders was there.
Right.
Remember?
You're right.
So that was like the award ceremony, and we was the main band that played there. And then we did what's the joint for Sisters Only joint? Remember that? That's probably I think that was the next era. That's next era. But yeah, we did do that. We played the chapel. I think we did chapel like twice.
Okay.
We might did that twice.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, we did Bowie stuff. So we've had the opportunity to do a lot of stuff. And then it was one thing I love. We started now rotating, having more frequently people that are coming out doing things. You know, and then I think we had a lot of opportunities to open up for people. We opened up for a lot of people that people don't realize that. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my, we opened up for them. I forgot we opened up for them. I forgot. You know what I mean? So that was a blessing. Also, that our sound was able to get now. Honestly, get some recognition outside of just the city, but people that was coming in the city doing gospel or whatever, they were able to hear gospel go.
So, okay. Speaking of the sound branching, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I vaguely remember this. I remember the first time that we met Submission and POC.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
believe that was on the same night. Is that right?
I think it was two different nights. I think
Okay.
we met Submission the first time. We went to I think it was might have been Mount Nebo. They
Right.
had a youth thing, and we was talking back and forth, and then we were still green then. Remember they said y'all bringing the sound system? Yeah, we said we gonna bring our sound system. So we all had this little joint from the church sound system that we used for crusades. So we pulled up with the church crusade system, and everybody's for Submission like, this ain't no sound system. We talking about go-go sound system. What is this? And we were so like, what? We were so green because we were just so happy to be there. You know what I mean? We knew how to set up the sound system and everything else. But that was our starting point with Submission. And Submission was, you were like, oh my God. So they had their own sound, and they had, with Double D and Greg King and Two and all that. So I was like, and so from that start point forward, I think their manager, he used to bring his sound system. I forgot his name.
Tony D.
Tony, I think it was Tony. So matter of fact, I seen him recently somewhere. So yes, so they, you know what I mean, and then Submission, I mean POC, it might have been when we went to Chillum, because their church was in Chillum, Maryland. So
Right.
I think I'm just trying to figure out when the first time we sat there, because we started doing shows with them. I think we did like 3 shows with them also up there. So it's all bunched together. But when POC and Submission came together, we started feeling like, oh, it's not just us out here, because POC had that JY sound. I mean, they straight. I mean, put me on cruise control. You know what I mean? All that with James, and he still. I mean, we gotta talk about all the members that used to be in Gospel Go-Go in these bands now. We gotta talk about that. From Kendall, from James, from Elmo. But anyway, we got so much. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. So that was, and then Submission really had that. I mean, they had Scotty with the singing. Oh my God, you know what I mean. So they had like more like a northeast kind of feel. So yeah, that's when the band. I think definitely our story. We really started gelling and going. Most shows when people was booking, they would book either all 3 of us or at least 2 of us. So that was our kind of like the bands we was rolling with at first. So then other stuff, people started coming.
So, I think, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that we first heard of POC, they were in the newspaper. Is that
It might
right?
have been. It might have been.
Washington Post.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
That might have been. I
weird.
mean,
I know for myself, I was like, oh my God, there's another one. I can't
mm-hmm.
believe it. So, folks, just so y'all know, we're going back down memory lane here.
Yep.
We have, just in case you don't know, we have Gospel Go-Go royalty on the other end of this discussion here. Mr. Damon Teller, Pastor Damon, aka D-Roc.
Yes. Yes.
So let me ask you this. So we've talked about the second era, how we met other Gospel Go-Go bands. We
Can we
also
stay there for 1 second? Can I stay there for 1 second? Do you remember? So we was just trying to figure out who we was, and then we had an opportunity to go to Pop Studio and do our first CD. And that was in the first era when Pop Studio, and I kind of tell a story about that night. And people don't know Pop is, what's the man now? I can call him Pop. Rio. We went to Rio Studio. So that night we went to go to Rio Studio, and I was so excited because got there early. So the night before, I had an ear infection. So with the ear infection, I went to the doctors, and when I left the doctors, I had my equilibrium was off. So that night we still had a show. So I was like, we still had to do the live recording. I said, okay, God, we got to do this live recording, but literally. So at this time, I think it was Rob, and it might be Rob and Marcus, literally had to walk me in for the show because it was crazy. But I remember that night where that was our first time really being on quote unquote go-go sound system in the studio, and and it was new back then. He had just moved from his old spot to his new spot, but when we was waiting, um, it was a band that was practicing before we got there. I mean, before everybody else got there, and it was Northeast Groovers. I was fanboying. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to roll down it with us. Said, Damon, don't do it. But that for me, that was a special night that, you know what I mean, I pushed through. And that was something that took us out of it. It really made us feel like, hey, we here. And we can be on the same stage or the same studio where these people practice at. We got something we could do. And then even Pop was like, y'all got something, just keep going. So I remember that. I had to say that. I'm sorry.
Speaking on that, I remember that night from, I remember we were in there, we was doing our thing, and he just came over the mic like, stop, y'all stop, y'all come in here right now, come in here. And he gave me, it was actually not me, he gave us some very good advice. Do you remember what he said?
Can I say that over the mic?
Let's clean it up. Let's not say it word for word. Do you remember?
I remember what he said. I still do. I tried to tell my praise team to do the same thing. So when we used to come in the studio, we were so excited. We used to cover up the mic, and we were talking about that, right? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
He covered up the mic, and he said, "Don't pinch the." I can't say it.
Don't pinch the tip of the microphone. Let's just say it like that.
Exactly. Right. And we were like, "Whoa, what you talking about? Hold up!" It wasn't he paused back there. We were like, "Whoa," you know. But we learned along. He taught us sound system back then. He would stop us. Y'all got this, but y'all need to come down, slow down. You know what I mean? So one thing I appreciate, he didn't see this just a gospel go-go band, because that's one thing we said. We was always trying to get respect. But I appreciate that he saw us as a go-go band, and he was willing to teach us and train us and help us, even in a little span of time that we had. It was like, I mean, if y'all gonna do it right. So that was one of I still to this day do not cover up that mic. You know what I mean? Because again, that was something. But that night was very special. I had a couple of opportunities to sit in and talk to him after that, and that was a blessing. How he really just thought, hey, y'all can really doing something. Y'all really are doing something. So that was good. That was very good.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, so let's talk about. You brought up Chillum Road. That's just so everyone knows. POC and Submission are legacy, legendary gospel go-go band.
Now, hold up, we gotta say POC, Proclaimers of Christ band.
Proclaimers of Christ. Yes.
Yep.
Proclaimers of Christ were out of.
I forgot the name of the church, but I just know it was in Chillum Road. Was it Chillum Road?
Yes, it was.
I forgot the name of the church. Yes.
And Submission was out of Mount Nebo.
Right? Yep, and that's up Marlboro. Yep.
Okay, so POC was the first band to introduce us to go-go sound.
Yep.
Right? And they said that they would never ever play on something that wasn't right. Right. So they set the standard.
Yep.
You know, we still played on church systems. If we could get a go-go system, we'd do it. But hey, they set the bar.
We all have our own road. Yep.
So POC was a legendary band that sounded like Junkyard, right? And when I say they brought the party, they brought the energy and the ministry. Oh my!
They cranked. Yep.
And they knew how to get the crowd hyped. They didn't even have to be on the stage, and they will get it going.
Yep.
Right. So they would do it on New Year's Day. And when I say they would take out all the chairs from out of the sanctuary, and it'd be wall to wall, wall to wall.
Not exaggerating.
They had it, and it was January 1st is cold. It was so hot.
Winter falls.
The doors open. You wasn't worried about no pneumonia, no nothing. It was a sweat box.
Yep. Straight cranking.
Speaking on sweat box,
Mm-hmm.
speaking on that,
Uh-oh.
that was when we first got introduced to icy ice.
Yes. Yes. So Icy Ice, we had our well, I don't know, great. My wife knew him for a long time, but I knew him also. But Icy Ice had we was at 5840, and he had a club right in the same parking lot of of the church. So we had an opportunity. Do you remember that right across from us? Icy Ice had a club right next to our church
Yes,
in the
I,
same parking lot.
it was
And
there
we
for-
played over there. Say it again.
it was there. It was like there and gone. I don't know why,
Exactly. Right.
but it
So
was
we had, but Ice says that was a familiar. We got an Icy Ice, so I know him from there. So then from there is where we went to. Was it the complex then? Did we go to the complex then?
yeah.
Oh, you talking about the complex days now?
We ain't got to the
Whoa.
complex just yet. We
Okay.
still
Okay.
more
Okay.
than that to get to. All right.
Okay.
So proclaimers of Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then let's talk about submission, right?
Yeah.
So we met submission at Mount Nebo
Mm-hmm.
and another legacy legendary gospel go-go band. Um, number two, Demont, another Mount Rushmore. John
Yep.
PLC, another Mount
Yep.
Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
We our Mount Rushmore is probably like 30 people. We can't do it like
Right.
you have to
We
do
can't
it.
do 5. You gotta do
It
more.
ain't
Yeah.
enough. We gotta have a whole Appalachian mountain
Mm-hmm.
to get everybody on.
Just start everybody over.
Got to do it. All right. So the mission
Mm-hmm.
had superstar singer.
Yep.
And people say had a superstar singer in James too.
Yep.
James currently plays for is it Mature
Mature clientele. Yep.
Clientele.
Mhm.
Let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the atmosphere. I think we need to go ahead and have a old school Friday night jam and bring everybody back. That's I think.
Hey, I think that'd be fire. You know what I mean? I'm all for it right now. I'm fired. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, let me know how I can help. You know what I mean?
Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Matter of fact, folks, in the comments, let us know if you want to see the legacy bands play together one more time.
Yes.
Let us know. Show us what you think. But anyway, let's keep it pushing. Okay, so we've talked about Friday night jams, we talked about all this stuff, right? So what was your favorite show?
Hold on. Before we do that, we can't forget about Club for Jesus.
Yes.
Because that's when we played it. Because one thing, Eric Kellum was one of the and what is the DJ? His DJ now he coaches the track team.
With the glasses, right?
Yes. He just coached the track dude that was in the Olympics. The young dude. What is his name?
You're talking about
I want to say PJ. No, that's not his name though. What is the boy name? It was him and Eric Kellum. He used to DJ, and Eric was the. What is his?
Yes. He was at
Lee. His last name is Lee.
Let me look him up. I know I got him on Facebook.
Yes, I'm gonna look it up too. So they helped us. They helped us get
right because we played with BBJ.
Joe Lee. Yep, and we call him PJ. Yep, Joe Lee. So he did a DJ. So Club for Jesus was big for us, I think, also because I was one of those consistent ones that Eric had us on monthly. We was always downtown, and it was right in D.C. in this little, I don't know what kind of church it was. It was a Episcopal church or something, but we was in that basement and we cranked.
I thought we was on the roof.
We did that a couple times. We did a roof a couple times, but then we was in the basement also. So I still remember that Beat Under Me joint. That's when we was in the basement. You know what I mean? So
with the saxophone.
Mm-hmm. When I think that was what is his name? I got Preston's brother or cousin came was playing saxophone that night. Yeah. So we did do a lot. So I had to bring up that Club for Jesus. We could not forget Club for Jesus. That was one of those. That was monumental. Also, and that was like our each and every. We used to play there for. I mean, like every at least once a month. At least once a month. So that was big for us too.
And that was before. No, that was while the Capital One Arena was under construction. So,
Yep.
like,
It wasn't kind of, but
none of that
yep.
was.
But it's in the same area though. Yep.
Yeah, it was a
And we forget.
block over
Yep. It was
before they
block
moved
over.
to like East Street or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
so we can't forget also. We can't forget about Terry Millender
yeah.
when we used to go to the neighborhoods all throughout the city and play.
Whoop,
When we
whoop.
did, I forgot the name of I forgot the name what he called it, but we used to go. We played. I mean, we played in Surgeon Quarters. We played in Bird Farm. We played in a whole lot of places that he put us on for years, and that was also got us out of our when we was in Clinton. That got us out in the city. So we really got with Club for Jesus and what Terry Millender was doing. That was very big for Xodus Band.
And that was the first time we were ever on local TV, right?
Yep. Yep. We was on local TV. I mean, we did one thing I can say we did it. We was Berry Burgers. We did a lot of stuff. We did the radio. We did local TV. We was in the newspaper a couple times. So oh, I
Prom.
forgot all about club at the. I forgot all about the at the mall. Being on the mall.
Now that is his own separate.
4th of July. Yeah.
Matter of fact, you brought it up. Let's just go ahead and jump into it.
Yes.
We
Yes.
we played.
Hmm.
You remember what year that was?
I can't remember the year, but we played for like 6 years straight. I think we early 4th of July we was down at the mall
I
playing
think I was
in the heat.
I think I was still in high school.
Yep,
So that
we
was
had
like
cut off shirts, baby
89.
shirts. Hmm.
Um, that okay. So let's set it up. All right.
Hmm.
So how did we even get that call?
I think we got a call from somebody called. So it was in the newspaper. I think it was in the newspaper, and they called Rob at the time. Rob was our manager. Rob was probably one of our best managers. Rob Holland. If he listened to this, I thank you for all that you helped us with that. And we got a call, and they was doing. It was like this big. I forgot the name. It might have been Christ on the Mall or something like that.
Exactly.
And Christ on the Mall, and they still doing it to this day. So they had, but Christ on the Mall back in the day, they had this big stage. So they would bring local talent from literally all over the DMV area to come out and do something. We had like I think we like a 20-minute or 30-minute set. So every year, so we had an opportunity. The first year we did it, I mean we were scared, but then after a while, it was like our regular routine. We already knew 4th of July. We're gonna be down the mall. We would take the metro down there, take the big blue bus, you know what I mean, big blue van down there. But it was like that was our set one of our set shows, you know what I mean. And we're from we first year probably like around 15 people was out there. Then we started building up to a place that every time we knew they knew we was coming, it was thousands of people surrounding that tent just to hear us.
Let me give the people
And I'm not exaggerating either. It was
so the very first time that we went out to play for the 4th of July, I think it was literally right there at the monument.
yep.
Is that right?
Hmm. Yep.
And this is before they put that stage out there, the permanent stage. We was on the grass, right?
We was there before. Yep.
So we literally got there and nobody was there. Like, okay, we was like, okay, we are playing for the grass and the monument, right?
Hmm.
We clicked sticks, looked up, it was 1,000 people.
And we're not exaggerating. And what's not moving. And we're not just talking about arms. We're talking about all shapes, colors, and sizes. It was so many people out there that we could literally from the front to the front of the stage all the way back as long as you could see. And that happened every single year. You know what I mean? And then we had to start having our favorites come every year. Oh yeah, we couldn't wait for y'all to come back this year. What that say? You know what I mean? So we was able to generate again another buzz. And then next year we came correct. We had tapes. Okay, they don't know about those cassette tapes. We had cassette tapes and all that. You know what I mean? So definitely.
And people wanted to take pictures with us.
Yep.
We had a whole group of folks from Germany that pictures with us, and
Yep.
it was so
Amazing. Amazing.
I believe that Kirk's band, Body of Evidence, still plays down
Oh
there
wow.
every 4th of July. So
Praise God. Keep it going.
if you guys have an opportunity to go
Hmm.
and check out Price on the Mall, check out Body of Evidence,
Mm-hmm.
Check them out.
Get there. Get
Check them
there.
out.
Get there.
Uh, oh, oh, oh. Okay, okay. Hold on. We got a message that we need to discuss.
Uh oh.
Okay,
Uh
this is
oh.
from April Brown. What
Okay.
advice do you have for some Christian students who want to form a band? They have been playing for Christian sport events, but want to expand and include other schools. They are a band of four.
I think it might be not easier, but you might have more opportunities with social media. I would make sure that they every time that y'all play, that you have a camera going, have a video going, have something going, and then on that, what we learned is sometimes you have to have songs that people are familiar with. Have your own songs, but also if they're doing gospel songs that people are familiar with to try to attract them in. One thing we realized, at the beginning, we would do other people's songs just to get people in, but then we start bringing in our own songs. So I think that's so important. Then, so build a platform, build a table. You know what I mean? Start, get wherever chance y'all get on social media, wherever chance you get. You know what I mean? Start bringing people out there. We have that. It's okay. RBS marching machine. All right, let's go. So I think just keep on, you know what I mean, and doing things like this. Now that you know what I mean, put that out there. RBS marching machine. So y'all go look up RBS marching machine. Let's see how we get them moving. You know what I mean? And the thing is, when you're doing something new, you're doing something that maybe a lot of people not doing, you just gotta keep on pushing. They're on IG. All right, RBS marching machine on IG. Let's go. So I think that's how we do it. You have to keep inserting yourself. And social media, we know for a fact, the more you do those algorithms, get you moving. So just keep pushing with those. That's what we did. We had to keep pushing. Even when we didn't feel like it, we still had to push. You're welcome.
All right. So we talked about uh, Price on the Mall. We talked about Club for Jesus. Um, let's talk about Gospel Live. So Gospel Live
I don't
was,
remember Gospel Live.
you don't remember Gospel Live? Really? Okay. Every Wednesday night.
Yes, Gospel
Right.
Live. The old,
We
old,
we had church.
Big Bob Big Boy joint.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had church on Wednesday night. And
Mm-hmm.
literally we would hightail it straight to who was it?
New Carrollton. New
At the time,
Carrollton.
yeah,
New Carrollton. Yep.
Capitol Plaza, right?
Yep. Cat Plaza. Yep.
So they used to
Mm-hmm.
have okay, so for for a few folks that's on here that knows a little bit about old school restaurants, there
Mm-hmm.
was a spot called Bob's Big Boy, right?
Yes.
So if you might be hip to Bob's Big Boy, right? Um, for young folk, we know y'all don't know. Don't worry, it's okay. You're like
Take our
you
word for it. Look
you
it
would
up.
you would love so Bob Big
Google
Boy went out of
it.
business, and somebody bought it and created a soul food restaurant that had a gospel twist. So it's called
Mm-hmm.
Gospel Latin, right? And over time, they brought in Gospel Go Go. So we played there every Wednesday night.
Yep.
And when I say we had some of the most epic Wednesday nights,
Moments.
so okay, so let's talk about who we used to play with. Do you remember who we used to play with on Wednesday nights?
Crazy Praise
Who
was
was in
one of
Crazy
them.
Praise?
Crazy Praise with Jam and Jeff. We had on the
And
front line what was the boy name on the front line?
Conrad.
Conrad was there. On the Congos, you had one of the original members of Northeast Groovers, Tommy. We had then they had on the drums. They had what's the boy? Because he played with what band?
Uh,
Uh,
Joel,
Joel. Yep. So we had it was that was
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe. Yeah, Smoking Joe. So it was that band right there was where it was. I think it was just us two, wasn't it? Or was anybody else?
Uh, it was just us two, and then if it was just like holiday or something, other bands would come.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we did that every week. That was the next move right there. That was another era. I think that's when we was really moving then.
Yeah,
'Cause, uh,
because we had people coming from all kind of churches.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So when it comes to gospel live, we okay. Hold up. Let me give some background on some of the names that you named. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, if you don't know, Jammin' Jeff is one of the most popular drummers in go. Right. He
Mm-hmm.
played for Northeast Groovers,
Mm-hmm.
and he also. So if you're familiar with the song "The Water Dance" and all of those songs from that era of Northeast, he was the drummer. He was
Yep.
one of the best drummers ever in go. Right. Um,
Is.
yeah, you know what? You're right. My
Mm-hmm.
apologies. My bad.
Yep.
All right. So you had, like you said, we had Smoking
Mm-hmm.
Joel. He played with
Mm-hmm.
what band for many
Yep.
years.
Mm-hmm.
You also you said Tommy. So
Yep.
Tommy was the first original Congo player before Smoke with
Yep.
Northeast, right?
Yep.
And if you've
Mm-hmm.
ever watched any of the videos from when the go-go bands were playing out California last year,
Mm-hmm.
he was the Congo player that was playing with them.
Oh
Just so
wow.
you know, just so y'all know.
A
All right,
little bit of history.
a
Let's
little bit,
go.
a little bit of history. Like this, if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for gospel go-go, I might not have no go-go right now. Just being real.
Yeah.
Just being real. All right. Uh, H Town Boss 20 or 20 says
Mm-hmm.
they remember copping
Young
seat
prophets.
from a band called Young Prophets that did that event lit. Yes.
Yes. I
Yes.
remember Young Prophets. Young
Don,
Prophets, Young Disciples. Young Prophets was who was in there? Your man was in there.
Don.
Um Don. Yes. Don Lee. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, Dreads. Yes. Yes. And then Young Disciples. Remember Young Disciples?
But I thought
Oh,
Young Disciples was a tab era.
is it what?
The tab era.
That might
Tabernacle.
have been that was a tabernacle era. Yeah. So we got so many eras. Hey, so many.
Okay. Okay. So Antonio Christians says that he's been trying to get a gospel go-go band to come to Lynchburg, Virginia. How do I get the ball rolling? We just had Groovers here. We need gospel. Oh,
That's easy. I mean, my thing is again, it's the same thing. Just start with the core first. What is your message going to be? One, what's your sound? If you know what I mean, then I think when you have your sound, you start building around that. So we got to have a drummer. You got to have that Congo play. Those two things, and you got to if you have a go-go drummer, a Congo player, and lead mic, you can get started really. You know what I mean? Because I think with keyboard players, they can play what I mean, the songs and all that stuff, but that drum, the heartbeat of the band, you know what I mean? Got to be the drummer and the Congo player. What you about to say?
I think that he wants to bring a band like down there to play.
Oh, get a band. Oh, get a band to come. I thought you were talking about. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
It's definitely out the box. You got Curtis Band. They doing it. True
first
worshipers. They've been getting it. So definitely look them up. Out the box. True worshipers. I can't think of Curtis. BOE. It's
I
some
think
other
those are the
bands
three
out
right
there.
now.
Say it again.
I think those are the three right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And which thing got a band too? I cannot think of the name. What is it? His first name is Bruce. Um, his father a pastor,
Rob,
but
you
his
doing
brother say it again.
Rob and Rob
They got his brother got a band. They
Robert
got
Wiley.
crank. Say it again.
Robert Wiley.
Yes. Yes, that band is nice too. So there is some bands out there that's still doing it. You know what I mean? I guarantee you talking about Lynchburg, you might get some people come out of our retirement. You know what I mean? So definitely.
Like
Those are
this
where you can
guy's
start at, hit them up.
like this guy's band.
Who?
Your band.
We gotta, we had to go back to drawing board on that one. I mean, I just saying we had to go back practice. We haven't practiced since that day. So, so but definitely, I think I mean, it's needed all around. I think right now people need hope, and people need one hope. When you give them a familiar sound, why not give them go? Give them a familiar sound. They got some style. You got the gospel, and I mean, put the word on it over the beat. That's what we did, and literally it helped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Robert Wiley Mitchell. Let me make sure.
Okay, there it is. Yes.
Um, but yeah, if you need help with locating bands or finding bands, if you have trouble, you know, finding them on Instagram or something like that, you can message me at Gospel Go Go
Mm-hmm.
401. I'll make sure
Mm-hmm.
you get connected with everybody. That's easy.
Yep.
Um, let's see here. All right. So yeah,
Out the
people
box.
name bands.
Out the box family. Her
So
husband played it. Her Apostle Tanya's husband played congos. Vicious. That's all I gotta say. Vicious.
Frank.
Jam and Jeff is like that. You ain't because I think was he with Still Familiar now? Is that it? What they with now? Who's he with?
District King.
Yes, District King. Yes, they bought everybody. They got Go Mickey over there and BoJack.
Yeah. They, they they taking it back to the old school familiar faces thing.
Yes, yes.
Um okay, April Brown. I didn't hear about Gospel Go Go until I began teaching in the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah, that's about when everybody the peak of it when we really start. I mean that early 2000s, late 90s when we start.
the first
Yeah, that was like the first peak. I mean the that initial peak. So yeah, that you're correct. It was late 90s, early 2000s. I think everybody would start really feeling them because early 2000s. I don't know. That's when the complex and all that stuff was there. Now then we haven't got to that.
yeah. Okay. Keith here. Been a long time coming, gentlemen. I'll be up there around June 10th. Hey, that sounds like a great date and time to do it, especially with this.
Yes, yes.
Let's figure it out.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
And then he said he still plays guitar. Just so you know, that's
Hold on, who's that?
Mr.
That's Keith.
Keith Hudson.
Oh, let's go.
Player from Exodus Band.
Yes. Okay, bro.
This
Let's.
brother-in-law,
Yep. Yep.
my guy. My guy.
Big stuff right there. Yes.
Let's see here. It's so these comments are coming in rather quickly here. If
you
I
got
don't get
you
your
got to keep up, huh?
if I don't get your comment, don't hold it. Don't hold it. I need to hire somebody to hit the comment. I bet.
Right. That's next level. Next level.
Might be next video.
Right. Let's go. Well, thanks
Go.
everybody. I gotta say thank you for everybody tuning in. Please be here. This is taking me back down memory lane. I like this. I appreciate this. Appreciate it. Doing a good job. Ty, thank you. Delano, what you want me to call you?
Hey, I got a couple names. Okay, so Antonio is affiliated with DK. With Kurt.
Okay.
So I'm sure you already got information for body evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, book them.
Yeah.
Bring them.
I must say, Curtis DK has been around literally for years, and he's been putting down, keeping it going for over these. I don't know how many bands he done created, but every band he created has been from level to level to level to level. So I must say, if anybody get that information, I don't know him. Remember we played outside for Russellville High School. And he pulled up in his bucket. I never forget that. I said, "Who's this man pulling up in the bucket?" From that day to I've known him. He's really put in the work.
Okay.
Put in the work.
Definitely held it down.
Mm-hmm.
Salute. Keep doing it. Keep pushing.
Yep. Yep.
Keep pushing.
He been. I remember him and Howard used to be at go at our Friday night jams. Be standing by the speaker, just watching. So definitely more than 30 years. You're right. That's my wife. That's her right there, Portia, right there. I mean, more than 30 years, and he just be just taking notes, watching, and he's put in work. I must say, he got to be on your Mount Rushmore. If he ain't, something wrong. I mean, he got to be on there.
Definitely. All right. Let's see here. We have another comment.
Okay.
Okay, from H-Town Boss 20. And I
Yes.
also remember
Sugar and spice and everything nice. It's the all-girl band, Living Sacrifice. Yeah, buddy.
Dope.
I remember that. I remember I had the opportunity to be a couple of practices and help them start off when they was in the basement. I remember that probably like 2 or 3 practices I went to. They had this nice sound too. I do remember. I don't know if they remember me coming in, but definitely over 20 years ago, I remember that. Sugar and spice and everything nice. All girl band, Living Sacrifice.
So let's give a backstory. So Living
Mhm.
Sacrifice was an all-girl gospel go-go band that came
Yes,
out of
sir.
Ebenezer AME
Mm-hmm.
under Reverend Tony Lee at the time, right?
Yep.
He was the
Yep.
youth pastor over there. And actually, I ran one of the Congo players. I think of her
Okay.
name off the top of my head. I started seeing her at my church
Okay.
the other week. So just running into people, right?
Right.
Yeah. So Living
Mhm.
Sacrifice was an all-female gospel go-go band,
Yep.
and they were doing their thing.
Yep. Yep.
There's so many eras of gospel go-go. But
So many.
coming from in this platform, y'all go get all the history. Y'all go get to see all these people. Y'all go get to know these people. Because
Mm-hmm.
hey, our stories are important too, right?
Yep. Very
Our
important.
stories, our testimonies, all of it is important. Dig? All right. So let's see here. So we talked about Gospel Live. Let's talk about how Big P, and Dante arrived in Exodus.
Okay, Dante started first, and Dante actually started because Marcus and Dante used to play with Mark St. John Carson. They started playing together for a concert for worshipers. So then we brought him over from there, and then so Dante was against is Faith City all day. He been Faith City since day one. You know what I mean? So oh, is that my man Jonathan J. Watson? What's up, sir? Wow, wow, wow. That's Galen's brother. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So Dante came over there. So a couple years later was when Preston came over. Then not only Preston came over, Pep came over too. So Pep, who played for what's the band? I can't think. Mumble Sauce, played Congress for Mumble Sauce. He was with our band. So Dante was playing. We played probably like three years before he brought them over. So it was like a rhythm then. So we brought him over. Hey, I was like, hey, you lead. I ain't lead. You know what I mean? Because Preston played congos. He used to play with gloves. Preston played congos. Preston played tamales. Right, motorbike. Right. And then he got on the mic. So yeah, so that was a good era too. I forgot about that era where Preston was on. Oh my God. And because in that era we moved over a little bit over to that was during the complex days too, because there's a lot of shows when he was leading that. Mubarak, oh my God, you know we forgot about Mu. You know what I mean? On front, and I forget about I still remember Andrew's friend. His last name is Washington.
Vincent.
His son Vincent. He sung with.
And we brought in Jeff too. Jeff
Say it
Stewart.
again? Jeff Stewart, yeah, played drum. He played drums for us. The police officer, yeah. So we had a lot of people. Taye used to sing with us. Oh, we cannot forget Tammy.
Yes.
Oh my God. Woo.
Yep.
And you know who I forgot. I can't. Mississippi Finest. Chucky. Cannot forget Chucky. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we had a lot of singers come through. We had a lot of people that really held us down. That front line changed a lot. The band changed a lot. You know what I mean? But it was like we was evolving. You know what I mean? Every era was important from the beginning to the end. Every era was important. So that's some fun, man. Because that complex days was good. That was whew. That's when we had the rocking in that joint. You know what I mean? We had all type of people. That was when we standing on the speaker days. You know what I mean?
Because I remember when Moo came to the band, right?
Yeah.
I was fired. I was kicked out the band at the time, right?
You came back. I brought you back.
Thank you for bringing me. But after the first show, I was like, matter of fact, I didn't even have to go to a show. I never was back on the front line. Let's just say that.
Right, because you were in the bass then.
And he sung, he rapped, he ad-libbed, moved on it. He took my spot and he deserved it. Let's just say that, right? So then it was like, hey, I need to come up with something. Okay, let me pick this. Let me pick this bass up. But that's a story for another day. We're talking about we're talking about one of the goats, one of the pioneers. That's who we talk.
Hey, I'm here. We can do a part 2. We got to. We get it in. Let's go.
All right. So okay, so let's talk about the complex.
Okay.
So the complex for the old school go-go folks was the old racket and fitness club that was next to Crystal Skate, right? Branch Avenue. And when I say, I can honestly say I've been to a number of go-go's in my day, right? And went to all kind of spots, right? The complex, hands down, pound for pound, is the best go-go spot of all time. Because imagine being in a spot as big as Walmart that has a balcony that goes all the way around, right? And then you got other rooms with other basketball courts, all that kind of stuff, right?
But fitness, racket fitness,
They had
game systems.
They had a pool in there, right? But this was okay. So this is, let's give you some framework. This is back when the hot shots was popping.
Just about to open.
Raw Image was playing there. So literally, young folks would come see us in Submission, right? And then they would, okay, I could say all of them. Some of them would make their way up Branch Avenue to the hot shop.
To the hot shop, exactly.
We're not judging nobody, right?
Nope.
We've done our own.
Everybody went through their process.
We've done our own, right? Right. But anyway, the complex. When I say it was the greatest go-go spot of all time, imagine a spot as big as Walmart that was packed wall to wall. I mean, wall to wall, right? And
each and every,
was it Saturday or Friday?
Each and every Saturday. Was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday because we get ready for church. Each and every,
I would look forward to working. Okay, we would go and do the complex on a Saturday, go to church on Sunday. I'm at work all week thinking about getting back to the complex.
But now think about that time, we were doing like 2 or 3 shows. So sometimes we would go do a show, especially on the summertime, go do a show and do the complex in the evening, or we do show back to back and then end with the complex. We always end with the complex though. Yeah, but we did that for, well, that was a couple of like 2 or 3 years too, wasn't it?
About
2 years. But that was ice with then they had the food there. They had the all that.
And insane. They put us on. They put us on.
They did.
Okay, all right. So at that time, that's when I believe CJ came into the fold, right?
Right. So CJ came in as more of the manager still. But before the manager, he was just like, okay, I'm trying to help y'all out. How can I help you out? And honestly, that was another time in my life when we grew. We would I used to go to his church regularly. And me and him, we used to go for prayer. We prayed like 5 o'clock in the morning, go to 5 o'clock prayer. So, but it started as a friendship. It then moved to, okay, how can I help the ministry? So went from management wise and then got into the band wise. And that, when we took off, that was like a whole nother era right there. That was a cranking era. So then also during that time, Rick and them band. Oh my God, what's the name of that band? Trilogy, because he was managing Trilogy and he's managing us at the same time. At the time. So Complex had Trilogy, it had Submission, it had us, and then that's when later on down the line, other bands would come in. But that was one of the, they were the open. Trilogy would come in. They don't wanna mob with us because they love God. So we started with that Trilogy, and then it was us, then Submission, or we would flip flop that way. So he came in and he brought in a whole nother just an element. He took gospel go-go for our band and made it more industry standard, if that makes sense, for gospel go-go. You know what I mean? Because
Made
you
it
know what I mean,
go.
how to structure stuff, how to put stuff together, how to, you know what I mean, move, when to move, stay there, sit there. Okay, now we're not gonna do it like that. So when he came in, it was more of the structure, because we were just playing and we were so happy to be there, but he put the structure. Well, don't get me wrong. It really started with Preston. Preston brought a whole lot of that in also. So it was like just a transition from one step to another. Because Preston, I was like, no need of me, dude. You got it. You know what I mean? I was like, so I moved out of being lead talker for a little bit of time. I was doing it, and then Preston came in and started lead talking, and he was, you know what I mean? It was, so I went to, I don't know where I went to. I think I went to third mic because I think Winston was was second. You know what I mean? I was just hype. You know what I mean?
You was the lead worshiper.
Right. So I was their encourager at the time. So I mean, that was, and then we had Tammy, then we had Charles. So our front line we had a nice front line. So then we moved over towards with CJ came in, and then I don't know, I think Preston might have. It was. We had a lot of people in the front line after a while. You know what I mean? I remember we did a show in Suitland. I was talking about Suitland joint. We had everybody on the front line. That was like the beast move right there. So.
Let me jump back a little bit
Okay.
down memory lane real quick. Because you brought up Rick and CJ, right? This is around this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Gospel Go-Go Fest, where we had literally every band.
Like, okay. Yeah, we did all day. We started early, yeah.
We had Young Prophets.
Crazy Praise.
We had us, Submission PLC. Like
Incorruptible Band, ICB.
ICB.
Out of 5840.
Did we
We had POC. I think Submission came because Submission came with those. They had dashikis on or something. Remember?
Yeah.
So Submission. It was us. It was POC. It was, I think, it was the young prophets.
Yeah, young prophets.
Young disciples. ICB Crazy Praise came out there. So yeah, we had like at least 7 to 8 bands that night. So,
that was the first go-go that I ever promoted.
Wow.
Me and Tia put that one together.
Okay.
And literally from that, it just like, I know what I can do now. Bass guitar might not be it, but I can do this.
I can do this.
I thank God for allowing me to be in the right place at the right time to spark that stuff. And you know,
and 30 years later.
30 years later.
Still doing it.
I didn't owe it all kinds of stuff. Anyway, we ain't talk about me. We ain't talk. So question.
You part of history. You know, I mean, you on that Mount Rushmore, from promoting, from being a band. You can't forget about that. You put on a lot of shows I've seen over the years. Even me being out the game, you still. I ain't never been out the game, but even still, being on that sidelines doing what I'm doing, I still see you doing. So I appreciate it. When I show up to shows and you there, I don't show up to many shows, but I'm like, dang, you here too? So.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Just to jump back about that gospel go-go. Okay. Do you remember that was Trilogy's first show?
At the complex?
No. At the Gospel Go-Go Fest. Just so framework. The Gospel Go-Go Fest was a extension of the Friday Night Jam that we did at Victory Christian Ministries. And our youth group at the time was called Charisma, right? So we did a Gospel Go-Go Fest year, right? But this year we decided, hey, we going in. We going in.
Well, the sound system in there, we was official that year.
Yeah, that changed everything. Because we even put radio ads on 1580.
Yep.
We did.
But I think we might have did 95 too. Because that time we went to because 1580 and 95 was in the same building. So I think we did it was 95 or 93, whatever it is, whatever that one is, that was the parent company. So yeah, definitely. I remember that. And Trilogy. Oh my God, I remember that. With Chink. Remember Chink rapping?
Yep.
And Rick and all the what's the name of the band now?
So just so everyone knows, right? If you like bounce beat and go-go music, you know of a band called Rejection, right? That band was originally Trilogy band, Gospel Go-Go.
90% of the band.
90%.
To this day, it was a trilogy. Yep.
So just know that when we say that, if it wasn't for Gospel Go-Go, we don't know how Go-Go would be right now.
Mm-hmm. Because that my trilogy had what's the boy name? Pretty Boy. What is his name? Because he sing with New Impressions now. He rap with them.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name?
You got
the rapper. What is his name? Skinny dude.
Pretty D.
Yes. He was trilogy at first.
He was with Trilogy. He was with Young Prophets.
Yep.
What else? Who else was on that?
Did he do Reaction? Did he go over to Reaction?
Yeah, he was with Reaction for a while. Yep.
Yeah.
So
there's so many people we can name. We can name Elmo. We can go with I got CDs where he played with us.
Yep, and he's playing with.
He just started playing with somebody.
But Elmo, superstar, conga player, roll time player. Yeah. All right. So, and this was when they was young, like 13, 12 years old. And he had it back then. All right.
Hands. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about complex a little bit, right? So the complex was literally 500 kids every Saturday.
At least, yeah.
At least. And it was a high energy party, right? But they got the word a little bit. They got the praise. They danced. They had the little food bar.
Yep.
And they did all this with no liquor.
No liquor. Nope.
So these the type of parties that we talking about, regular bands would dream to have these type of parties.
I mean, we not exaggerating. It was, when I say packed in it would be packed in there too.
Yep.
Wall to wall.
We had go-go, just legends in there. Names that you might know, you heard over the years. You know, and it was amazing. So if you have a question about what the complex is, right? There is a video on YouTube. Look up the Mission Band in the complex. You'll understand exactly what we mean, right?
Yep.
So other big shows around that time, we have to talk about Reverend Lee and Ebenezer.
Yes, come on, Ebenezer. Yeah. You
remember the first time we played there?
I think, was it at the school or was it at the church?
It was at the main sanctuary.
Yeah, we played. I remember we played at the main sanctuary. I remember that one of those shows. I think that's when Andrew was on fire on the congos that night.
Yep.
I remember.
And I think a competition between him and
Kendall.
So just so you know, Kendall is the lead talker for Subtle right now, right? So they had a Congo battle. We're not going to discuss that, but I believe I got it on video. I got a. Is that video right here?
One thing I can't say, you was putting footage. You was getting footage back in the day. I must say, back in the day, it was tapes. So I know everybody got. You might got it. You might got it. Cause I remember that. I still remember that. Now. I remember Kendall. All I remember is Kendall went first. I mean, I was like, okay, that was good. And then I remember Drew came behind him.
You had that face.
It started doing up, blah, 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 and then they tried to get Kendall come back and Kendall quit. I think that's when he went to the front line. That might have been when he went to the front line at that.
All right, so speaking on that, I don't know if y'all can see.
Wow. Yes.
I was trying to get it digitalized.
Wow. Xodus Band 2000. That's my handwriting too. Where you get that tape from?
XB. Hold on. Let me get the mic over here. All right, so that's XB. That's at Ebenezer AME, right? That's a Mount Nebo show. That's Howard University. Club J.
I need that.
I got you. Matter of fact, do you have
that digitized
that we can digitize this?
I don't know. We gotta find stuff. Somebody gotta have it somewhere you can digitize it. We're gonna figure that one out. Anybody know somebody, put it in the chat. Let us go. No, that's a lot of history right there.
I got some camcorder tapes too.
We need all that. We need to figure out somebody who could digitize that because that's. I mean, we only need it on a CD. We just need it. We just need it MP4 right now. That's might that happen.
We're gonna
Wow.
work on it. We're gonna get it uploaded.
Let me know. I got 5 on it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
Hey,
Um,
dang.
we talked about. It's funny. We talked about all these different spots. And this is from 1998 until 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I graduated.
That's crazy. Wow. Wow. Ooh.
Yeah. Matter of fact, okay, we're gonna jump way back. We'll jump way back. Do you remember playing at the Church of the Great Commission across from Andrews Air Force Base?
Mm-hmm.
Outside at their carnival.
Yep. I remember that. Because Chosen Disciples was out there too. And Devon, they brought the rapper, what's his name? He's with them. He's a pastor now. Devon, Devin, something like that.
What you know the name of the church?
It was he was with the Chosen Disciples that night because we was out there. I remember that at the carnival. Right. So yeah, definitely.
And that's when we first got introduced to In Your Face, the rapper.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got we really got that was our second time In Your Face. The first time I saw In Your Face, we saw him at when we was at out Dumfries, Virginia. We was at where was that church? It was like way out Virginia, off of 66. What is the name of that church?
Is that church where they had like the basketball court?
They had a dome.
And I cut my face and was bleeding off the place.
Right. That joint. It was a dome. That was like, who is this boy In Your Face? Oh my God. You know what I mean? Because we started going out places and we started opening up for different things. Because one time we was out somewhere like that and we was opening up for Marette Brown Clark. We opened up for, we haven't talked about the people we opened up for. We opened for D-Roc. Remember that joint? Living Waters?
Living Waters.
Marette Brown Clark.
Now, Living Waters used to, now they know how to treat you.
Yes.
They know how to treat you.
That was the spot right there.
What's the pastor's name?
Pastor Jimmy and Irene. Yep. Yes. So now people know it as Union Church, but it was at first Living Waters, and it started over. And he was over the youth ministry, and we did a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. We was up there for some years. They really put us on and took us all over the place. Yep.
Out Odenton, Maryland.
Yep. Showtime for yep. Wonder Band. Yeah. Showtime was with Wonder Band. XIB. Yep. Showtime. I love him. Yep.
We haven't gotten into all of the bands that came out of Victory that was under this guy's tutelage.
Oh yeah, we definitely have it.
We got more. We
got more stuff.
All right. Whew. So let's jump forward a little. I think that was a good segue. All right. Okay. So can you name some of the bands that came out of Victory outside of Exodus Band?
So Exodus Band, of course, was the first band, but then we had a band come right under us called ICB. ICB was with some young guys that's was the pastor's son, Jordan. He was over that band, and it was Mike, Shantae, a lot of people that and Israel, Chris played drums. They had we had another Chris. And that band was that was a starting band. They did a very good job. I mean, they held their own. So they started playing at the Friday night jams. So when we couldn't do it, or they would begin to open up for us, and they cranked. So then after ICB, I want to say it was Radical Praise. That was called Radical Praise at first. And after the Radical Praise, that was Jordan jumped over there, and some other people came on board, and then it went to Radical Band. And Radical Band was with that band. That was on the bounce era, and they really had everything on lock. But at the same time, it was another band that actually my praise and worship leader Brandon started. It was called NFL. Brandon and Javon, they started a band called NFL, Newfound Love, and they had their own style with singing. So it was like we had a lot of bands, and then I think it was like one more other band. I can't think of the name of it right now, but during the time, one thing I can't say, we was holding our own. We probably put like 4 bands out of Victory. So, and then now that Marcus did a band after us. I think it was like I forgot the name of the band. Focus Band. So Focus Band was locked for a while. So we had a nice string, and we put all those bands together. We could put a show together, and it was gonna crank the whole time. ICP was vicious. There you go. There go my man Mike. There you go Mike. Just Misfit. There you go Mike. You know ICP era was a blessing. They cranked. You know what I mean? Then we went from ICP to again Radical Praise, and then Radical, and then in affair with some other bands. But I must say, we had like 4 or 5 bands that I was able to either talk to and part in or even manage at the time. So it was a blessing, such a blessing. So I had my hand in it for a while. Even when I was out of it, I was still in it. So definitely. So I appreciate Gospel Go Go. I must say Gospel Go Go saved my life and saved a whole lot of other people's lives. So definitely be able to pour into people. It's a blessing and a privilege. Literally, it's a blessing and a privilege.
You have definitely have been a great impact on a lot of folks, a lot of young folks, a lot of old folks.
Right.
You've done your thing like that.
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Ray.
R.I.P. Ray. I'm R.I.P. Pac Smooth, and then we always praying for Ray. That's my man, bass man, Ray. You know what I mean? He's you know what I mean, blessed. You know what I mean? Pac Smooth. I mean that was a big hit for us. He was with Radical. He was around forever, but he's always in our prayers, always praying for him, always praying for both of them. And then we can't forget about when we was coming up, Howie. Howie was our drummer, and RP to him also. We definitely keep him in our prayers. That was something big for us. And people don't remember, but it was a keyboard player that we had with X's at the time. He played for, I think it was Essence or some Scotty. And Scotty, he passed away also. So we had had an opportunity to be blessed by a lot of young men, and we just praying for them. So that was a lot, you know. Pop Smooth, my man, right there. Pigs up.
So cool.
Yes,
Nothing.
That was the smoothest. His name was what was it? Pop Smooth. He was smooth. I mean, for real, definitely. I gotta say, also my best friend passed away years ago too. Galen, he was part of he was part of our management team, but also one of my best friends. So I mean, RP to him too. Praying for him. Always praying for his family. That was one of our major hits right there. Because right after that funeral, we had to go do a show in North Carolina with ICB. So I'll never forget that. We left the funeral, jumped on the road, and went to go do a show. So that was kind of big for us. All right, we gotta bring it up now. You gotta bring it back up because we.
Yeah. One more. Rest in peace. Long live Jeff.
Yep.
Long live Smoke.
Long live Smoke. Yep.
The Mission.
Mission Band. Got you. Can't forget about them.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's pick it up. All right. So we've talked about the complex.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Baby Plex?
I do remember the Baby Plex down Fort Washington, over there by the motorcycle club. That was it. That was a good experience also, because literally for me it was one of those that when we getting back to where people, I don't know, was I even in a band then? What year was that?
I was playing with
That was
guys in there, so that was probably what.
That was 2003, 2004,
something like that.
I think during this time I was managing ICB and Radical during this time, so I was around, but I wasn't in a band. But then that's when Moo was with. What band was he with? Because he was
started his own band.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and the Mitchell brothers. One was playing drums, and then they had some of the congos. Yeah, so their band cranked too, because they got their I think the Baby Plex was where it was again. Icy Ice. There you go again. He was there, had that going. So yeah, I remember the Baby Plex. It was hot in that joint.
Yeah.
It was hot, but that was a movement too.
So, question: Does Mike brought up fire, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With your anointed screaming waves, right?
Uh-huh.
So, question: what are your top 3, your favorite XB songs of all time?
I gotta go back to my list. I can't forget. I got so many, but if you talk about top three off the top of my head, let me see. Let me get it. I got to. So for me, my top three was if you could look this up. Some people might even got it. We did this song called "The Game" with Exodus. It was such a good song, "The Game," and we did it a lot of times. But when we did it at the Tab, and it was like what was it? It was September the 6th. I think it was September 6th, 2003, and we was outside. I never forget that. And Andrew had to work; he couldn't show up, so we couldn't. We was like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" And I think it might have been Young Prophets or somebody was there. So we needed a Congo player because we didn't have a Congo player, Timbaland Congo player. So we asked Elmo to come in, and Elmo came in, and that's the Game right there. If anybody got that, check that. I mean, that was so CJ and Keith. They structured that thing. Keith Snowden. They structured that thing so well that I mean, it was the way it started. I mean, it was musically just vicious. I mean, and so that was my number one. The second one was Fire when we did a gospel live. That was the time we did dun 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 dun. I mean, that's always my save. And then my last was this when the last show that we had Preston and Pep. We was at a Suitland Entertainment Center over there by the Census Bureau, and we did a song called Next Level. And that Next Level, that thing right there. Those are my three favorite songs, my moments right there. I mean, oh, you can't forget Butterflies Evil, Apostle. I see those butterflies. Hey. I gotta pull out some tapes tonight. So definitely those were my top three songs. I have so many others, but if I had somebody ask me, that would be the top shows right there, top songs.
Okay. All right. We'll dig a little deeper.
Let's go.
If you have to exclude your top three favorite XB songs, what would be your top three gospel go-go songs of all time?
You know, these are hard because it's like the Mount Rushmore. I got so many, but what I do is I'll pick out three of them, and I have to say God's Blend. It's a band called God's Blend, and Super Dave who plays congos now. I don't know who he played congos for. Right? He played for somebody. He might play for. I know he played at Reverend Lee's church, but he played somewhere else. And then we can't forget about Go-Go. Go-Go was on the congos. And I forgot the light skinned dude that was on the drums, but they did a song called "Good Life." Was that them? We live in a good. That was the second. That was with Preston with them. We live in a good life. So that song, "Good Life," was vicious. I definitely loved what's that? God's Blend. And the second song was we talked about POC earlier, and POC had this song called "All Hail the Lord," "All Hail the Lord Jesus Christ," "All Hail the Lord," and that thing cranked so hard, and then boom, boom. I mean, Quad or the Congos, it was put in work. Put me on cruise control. I mean, so I could and then Radical Band. They had when we had the Go-Go Fest. It was the last Go-Go Fest I did, 2010. That was my last time before I was pastor. When I go pastor. Say it again.
At the main church, right?
At the main church at Suitland, and that joint was packed out. I mean, we had the sound system. We had Deuce 9 doing the sound for everybody. It was packed out. We had all type of bands there. I think we might have had. So that they did a song called "The Bounce." This right here is called that thing right there. Nothing but fire. So those are my top three songs. There's so many other songs. I don't even know. I mean, so many bands. I can't. You think about. I saw one of the twins the other Sunday. He played Songs 150. Songs 150 had a song with the dark-skinned dude who's a rapper. He said the song was
J-No?
Yes, J-No, yes. So they had a song. What was the name of that song that I always sing? I can't remember. Say it again. Troubles in my life. It makes me want to holler sometimes. Yes, that drum right there. I mean, so I have so many hits that I love. Of course, you can't forget Submission. Submission had all the, you know what I mean? The Mont Woods, boom, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So they had a whole lot. You can't forget about, I still like when Exodus, when I was out to walk, oh my God, you know what I mean? You know, hip hop, rock, gospel, and go, tearing down the walls like the Syria of Jericho. I mean, so many songs. Again, Radical Praise, ICB had songs. I can't forget about even There's so many. I can talk all night. I love one thing. I'm always going to be a fan of gospel go-go. I love gospel go-go. That's one thing from the beginning get into to where we are now. I love the evolution of it. Wonder Band. Oh my God, when they came out with Showtime, they put in work. You know what I mean? It was that right there was like what? So they took it to another level. That bounce speed, that you know what I mean, slow bounce. Oh, we can't forget about what's the other band that was doing Wonder Band? It
CRB.
wasn't one CRB when they came out with Jesus Walk.
Oh yeah.
Or
Okay.
that Lecrae joint. So I have history. One thing I love gospel go go. When every chance I try to get to can, I'm there. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right. So, okay. So, what are your top three Exodus band shows of all
Ooh, dang, that's hard. Um, I think I think I I give you one show that when we was at on Christ of the Mall, it wasn't actually the show. It was after the show. It was like a couple years later after the show. I'm gonna give you a story. So we played at the mall, and God told me begin again. I think not. I'm not a rapper. I'm not a singer. I'm an encourager. That's what I do. You know what I mean? And one of the shows, God told me to pray over the crowd. So I began to pray over the crowd as the music was going. And most time we do it under socket, we do whatever. And as I prayed over the crowd, I was praying God that there's somebody who to feel like giving up on life. I want you to let me bless them and begin to talk. So here it is. Look, years later at the Babyplex, I'm not playing now. I'm getting out of the car, trying to help the band get in. This guy stopped me. He said, "You don't know who I am, but I know who you are." I said, "Okay." So I'm thinking about. I wasn't even thinking about my gospel days. I'm thinking about my BC before Christ days. I'm like, hold up, I'm at to fight this band. What is going on here? So what he said was, he says, "You don't remember? You begin to pray over the crowd, and when you begin to pray, I was homeless, picking food out the trash can." And literally that day, I rededicated my life to Christ. He said, "Now I got married. I gave my life back to Christ. I got married, and I'm a minister of the gospel because of what you said years ago." So that show right there, that hit me. I remember that show, and I was like, "God, why are you telling me to do this now?" But here it is. It was able to literally pull somebody out of the gutter and bring them to the things of God. So that's one show. Um, I think that show we did at the complex when me and Winston, it's a picture where me and Winston was on the speakers, and on top of speakers, and Preston was leading that day. But that night, it was like an energy in that room. The balcony was rocking the whole time. I mean, it was literally like you could see the balcony just moving. It was so that show right there was like out of this world. Um, and I think it was a show that was monumental. You might remember this. We played in St. Mary's County at a college, and I think submission was there. We was in the gym, and we played. And it was a long time ago. And what was monumental about it is we was playing. And it was early. Like I think Other Bell was there, and we prayed in the gym. And literally, as we were playing in the gym, there was witches that surrounded the gym. I don't know if you was there or not.
I
Witches were
remember
surrounded the gym.
about that.
Literally witches. Say it again.
I remember hearing about that one.
Yeah, so witches was surrounding them. They was literally doing chants outside the gym, and we was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So Annabelle shut the show down. Was like, "Listen, we need to begin to pray." And that was one of the moments I realized when the band came together, what we was doing was important. To hear that the kingdom of darkness was trying to literally stop what God was doing on the school campus. And then when we begin to pray, we begin to believe God, and literally as we begin to pray, I think it was submission was there with us. And literally as we begin to pray, you felt the presence of darkness just leave, and the presence of God showed. So that was like a monumental moment. It's supposed to have so many other shows where we had. I mean, you already know we had so much fun. We did. I mean, with that blue van and people doing stuff. I mean, that we had so many stories just in that van. We're not gonna bring up those stories, but those are like kind of like the three moments where I just this stands out to me right now.
So, all right. So, all right, all right.
Uh oh.
Okay. All right. Is there any artist that you wish we would have collaborated when we were in Exodus?
Um.
It could have been any era. It don't even matter the era.
Um, I wish we. I don't know. I mean, of course, go-go wise, I wish we would have had the opportunity. I mean, we had a show where we was about to open up for backyard, and we didn't have an opportunity. That somehow they couldn't do it or something like that. But that was one. I was like, I wish we would have had the platform to be on the stage with people like that. You know what I mean? That they could see, hey, this is what we can do. And I know other bands have like BOE and I don't know what bands were able to do some of those things. We weren't able to do that much. I can't remember a band we literally. I just know we had one show we was gonna open up for them. Matter of fact, we did. We played at the Big Chair. Remember we played? I don't know. Remember we played the Big Chair probably like 2001, 2002.
Unifest.
Unifest. We played a lot of places, a lot of things, and I think we opened up for some. And then we played because we played for Music Soul Child. Opened up for that Sisters Only. We opened up for them. Right, he went first, and then we came right out there. Then Natalie. I don't know if you remember Natalie Wilson. Act like you know. You know, we did. So we did. So we had a lot of winners, but I think that was one. If we was able to get on a ticket with some other go-go bands, I think that would been a blessing for me personally.
Do you remember us playing at the Black Hole?
Yep, I remember that very very clear. And then what's his name? His last name is James. What is his his? Uh, he's a big producer right now, but he used to rap and he used to be called YB. What was his name? Ah. But anyway, yes, I do remember playing the Black Hole, and I think his uncle or his father used to run the Black Hole. So I remember that was I still got that tape. I still listen to that to the day. You know what I mean? That one was like dirty, grimy, with chamber. It was like chambers in it. You be like, what, how we gonna get into it? The Black Hole took that up. That was off Georgia Ave. Yes, I definitely know the Black Hole. I remember the Black Hole. I remember Black Hole when we played the Mad Chef Cafe. We played the Chateau. Remember the Chateau days? We
Yeah.
played the Chateau.
Hold on.
We played Chateau with POC. Um,
What was that? It was a. Oh, we did the live recording there, right? We did a
where?
live recording.
Mm-hmm.
Came through because
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Praise opened up, and he
Yep.
got on with because he wasn't. I think he wasn't playing with
Who,
anybody.
who's this?
Smoke with Northeast. He
Yep.
got on with Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
and we was just like, oh my god,
That was.
we was all fanboying out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's see.
We had a couple shows where we had Bruce Barely on our show. When we was at the Tab, we had Bruce, and then we had Tab when he was at Gospel Go Go. I mean Gospel Live, he came on there too. So that was big for me. You know what I mean? Bruce, one of the pioneers. JY, then Backyard. You know what I mean? So we had some opportunities, but I would love to have opened up or you know what I mean, been on the ticket one of those bands.
And those tapes are available. We,
Right.
we have them in the archive.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, just so you guys know, if you want to hear Gospel Go Go 24/7, if you look on the screen, there is a web address right there. But I'm also going to end up putting it in the description of this video. It's going
Okay.
to have a link, and you can listen to Gospel Go Go, all the bands you like, all the different
Mm-hmm.
eras, 24/7 out the day, right?
Yes.
And you can request your favorite song. So if you have a song you haven't heard in 1,000 years, you can go in there
Put it in there.
and you can hear it, right? So
Let's go.
we're gonna let y'all know that. Brought to you by Gospel Go Go 411. All right.
You're doing a good job. I appreciate it.
Just trying to do my part, man.
You're doing it. You're doing it. Next, we just gotta get our own museum or get it put in a museum. We're gonna get a space in there. So
Well, Kurt said that we are in the new Go Go Museum. That's
oh, we
on-
are.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't been there, so I don't know
We
exactly
gotta
what.
take a field trip. What we should do all gospel goers should take a field trip up there. Cause I think you can't go in there. You have to. I think you gotta do like group something right now. I don't think it's like open to the public right now. But
I'm with it. Let's make
let's
it
go.
happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's go.
Make it happen. All right. Let's see here. So, what is your fondest memory of working with young people?
Say one more time. My fondest memory of working with who?
with young people.
I think who? I think my fondest memory of working with young people was when I had the opportunity to work in Charisma. Um, Seeing them when we used to do, they still do it. Christmas still going on. Just to let you know, you
Okay.
know what I mean. So when we used to go to conferences, and we used to go away for conferences, and those conferences was like our moment where young people would just, Dad, remember we played at a conference when we was in Wintergreen.
When it,
Hey, we played Wintergreen Resort, and literally that Wintergreen Resort. I think you was there too. You know what I mean? We played there. I got pictures of that, and we literally see lives change that day. We see lives during that weekend, and begin to people experience God like never before. That was monumental for me. You know what I mean? That even to this day, that's why I'm always big on our teams, because those are moments that you see those people now years and later are still living for God. So those are things like praying for each other, believing God for them, seeing people's lives change. That was big. That was very big.
so speaking on uh, playing for people to change their life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most effective things that I think Victory Christian Ministry ever did was the outside crusade.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
there's a framework for both. The
So,
crusade were outreach
mm-hmm.
ministry, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
outreach service or whatever, right?
Yep.
So we would go into um, apartment complexes across the whole DMV, right?
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
we would post up, and to kick it off, we click the sticks.
Yes, sir.
And literally, you have people coming out of their apartments on their
Mm-hmm.
balcony,
Mm-hmm.
walking up,
Mm-hmm.
and literally they was exposed to gospel go-go. They was exposed to Jesus, and
Mm-hmm.
they got ministered to, and
Got
I think
food,
they got food. They got food. Um,
clothes. We did all type of stuff.
I think that was so critical in
Mm-hmm.
the evolution and the development of Victory, but
Yep.
also us
Mm-hmm.
when we were ministering to people, right?
Very
Um,
much.
I remember, matter of fact, we were out. I think it was Was it Lynchburg or West Virginia?
Lynchburg. Yep.
Lynchburg,
You
Virginia.
still got that picture? Well,
Yes,
Howie. Yep.
yes. I
Cut
was,
off shirt.
and we were we was at a crusade, and
Mm-hmm.
it started to rain. And
Yep.
when I say that we used to create songs just in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
that's how the song Can't Stop
Mm-hmm. It won't stop.
developed.
Yep.
Because it was raining, and we were saying, hey, ain't no rain gonna stop us. We can't
Nope.
stop. We won't
Won't
stop.
stop.
And that evolved.
Pray to the tippy top, can't stop. Yep, yep. That was. Oh, you bring back history. This recording need to go in the archive. That's I remember. I remember that day, and till this day, because what we was doing, we was going out helping the ministry start the ministry. So we took the crusade out there, what we did in the area, and Pastor Ray McQueen, they're still going on to this day. I think it's like they're 25 years in now, still doing it. So yes, so that day we was able to go out there and we took buses out there 4 hours out to get out there and do that. So that was a blessing right there. We had fun. Yeah. So we did. We came up with Beat Under Me. I mean that came out of a show. That wasn't. That's something we were just in it, just in the groove. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of songs that way, just in the flow. So
Yeah. Or matter of fact, okay. So one of our creative processes at one point was you would say you start playing the drum,
mm-hmm.
and the beat would come, and you play a keyboard, and
Mm-hmm.
you do this, you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and we literally came up with like 30 songs.
Yep. That's how we did all the songs. Yep.
Our
All
best,
right. No, but before all that, think about it. Before that, we would take like 5 or 10 minutes to pray. We
yes,
would say, all right, everybody get in the corner. Something I want y'all to pray. Singers, got some, write it down. We just pray over the instrument, pray what God want to do, and now say whatever you hear, play it. So we would start off there. Start off with prayer, then start going out the process, and we would come up with something like, hey, there you go, right there. So yep. So anybody want to start a band? A lot of times go to the presence first. That's what we did. You know what I mean?
you got to seek His face.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. And we didn't think it was important then, or we didn't think it was important back then. But now, start thinking about your life now, man. I need God. I know you know what I mean. I need to praise. Let me seek His face first before I do anything. So those little things that we did in practice, it was life lessons, literally life lessons. So
that we apply to this day.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, check out who this is.
Who's that? Wow. Yes. Ooh, then that Miss Brenda, I'm telling y'all, she's one of those that taught me how to worship. Honestly, I had the opportunity to be around to go in the house. She was over our praise and worship at Victory for years, and she was a worshiper. The present when she come in the room, present God would show up. So she's one of those that literally helped me be what I am today. Also, when it comes to being in worship and things like that. So she's always had the presence with her. No matter what, when she show up, the presence show up. Can't stop praising His name. I just can't stop. Yeah.
Miss Brent
Yep.
was an amazing singer, right?
Yep.
On top of an amazing musician
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
All at the same time.
And she would take you to the presence
at the same time.
Same time.
I mean, I must say she's one of those that really changed my life, and she don't even know it. Can I give a story if I can? I'll just talk a little bit. I mean, years ago, I was I gotta. You'll catch it in a minute. I remember years ago, I was in a backslidden state, and still was job with the band, in the band, outside the band, but in the band. Went back drinking, smoking, just really doing our thing. And then when one night it was New Year's Eve service, I came to church to really pick up somebody and go home. I mean, go out, leave, right? And as I'm coming into church, I'm high. I'm just high. But the band actually was up there, so I'm not going up there with them, whatever. And she say, "Hey, there's Pastor Mom. Not Pastor. There's the mom. The mom, won't you come up in and do something with the band?" I was like, "Oh my God!" But look at this. Look how God worked. As I'm walking up to the stage, I became sober. I mean, I'll never forget that. I came up there, we did our thing, da da. As I get off the stage, literally all that came back on me, all the Hennessy, everything, smoke, everything. And I go off the stage and I was like, and I realized something in that moment. I said, "God, you still love me even in the midst of my sin." You know what I mean? And then it got me to a place like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? I left out of there. I was so repentant. Then a couple of brothers, they grabbed me. One was Rob, Elder Damon, and Marcus. They literally grabbed me and was like, "Listen, God got more for you. Don't stop." You know what I mean? But I know it started when she literally pointed me out the crowd. I'm in the back. Come on up here. And then I saw the power of God move like that. So one thing I realized with anybody, you got to give everybody a chance to grow. Everybody a chance to go through their process. And God loves us. God wants the best for us. And that was one of the moments that God used her to literally pull me out of sin. Didn't he know it? Didn't he know it?
God know what He doing.
He know what he doing.
Plan.
Yep.
We might mess up the plan. We might divert from the plan. But God got the plan, and He knows.
Yep. He got it. Definitely.
Okay. Let me see here. Let's see here. Okay. I'll put you on the spot.
Okay.
Ready? What is your favorite era of Xodus Band?
Wow. It probably was a sandwich between with when Preston was there and when CJ was there. I think that cross between that, because at the same time we had Andrew and we had Pep at the same time. We had Preston. Our front line was just beast mode. So it was like that cross between those two eras that I think that was my kind of like my favorite, because that was like the most creative. You got two of the I don't care what nobody say, you got two of the best in gospel go-go that ever took the mic, Preston and CJ on the same stage. You know what I mean? And then to see them work, and then to see how they worked, they able to work together. It was it was like magic to me. I was like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't say magical gospel, but you know what I mean? It was like, it was beautiful. It was like those two crossing and seeing and being there and being, see the creative, they had different ways of the creative process to see how they just move through. Hands down, that's probably my best era right there.
Okay. All right. Speaking on that era, do
Mm-hmm.
you remember the Breaking Bread? What does that mean to you?
Who was that? Say it again.
The BBC.
Oh yeah, the BBC with CJ. I forgot the other dude, big dude. Now, yes, yes. So we had the opportunity to be on. You talking about we had the opportunity to be on the radio live? Oh my God, when Junior was mixing us, I'll never forget that. That night was like monumental. We was so try, and then somebody car. I couldn't get in the car. We had to break a window or something to get the instruments out. It was a whole lot going on that night. I'll never forget. But that night was like the BBC is in the building, and then when CJ took the mic, that was monumental right there. That was a lot. You know what I mean? It was a lot. I mean, you had Buddy on the drums. You had, I mean, it was you had, it was Tammy was there. You had Taye was up there. Charles was up there. I mean, we was crammed in there trying to. Mubarak was there. That was a nasty night right there. I want to say nasty. It was fire.
All right. So let me give the breakdown. Let me set it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the BBC was a radio show that was on Heaven 1580
Yep.
at the time. It was the only urban young adult or young folk show ever to be in this region, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, even Praise 104 ain't had nothing like this because they played gospel rap, they played gospel go-go, they played all kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then TJ was like, hey, let's have live gospel go-go over the radio that played on in prime time, right?
Very breakers. Very breakers.
Like that, the night show, right?
Right. Well, we the first band, did Submission do it first?
Mission was the band.
They were the first band, right?
The first band.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes. Yes. Go ahead. All
right. So so XB played, right? And guess what? That CD is available.
Yep.
That CD is around. And when I say that was one of my favorite XB CDs, yes.
That was because the room wasn't so big. It wasn't too big, so you had. I think it was the band and probably like 5 other people in there, 6 other people in there, and that's when we felt like, man, we about to reach the world, and we did really. I mean, we was on the airwaves. We was all sweating. But we was all excited, like that. We was able to do this, and we did it. So that was a good moment too. We have so many moments where God just showed up. You know what I mean? When we was at UMBC, God showed up in the room. It was. I had so many of those God moments. Just being with Xodus Band. Xodus Band was one of those that just. I mean, it helped me.
Okay. Oh, another thing about that night. The radio personalities, because just like what you said before.
Mm-hmm.
Let me set up a little bit more. Okay, so I don't know if it was Radio 1 at the time. It may have been
Radio 1.
It was Radio
in 95. I think it was 95.5 was in the same.
So Radio 1 is the parent company.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have all these different radio stations on it. So it was 1580 and it was WPGC.
Yeah, 95.5. Yep. Because DJ Flex came in there.
Right.
Go ahead.
But you have radio star personalities that were stopping what they were doing and coming in the room to see what XB was doing, to see what this gospel go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they came in and was like, no, they came in there and they stayed in.
Yep. The whole time. They had to go back on this show. I mean, yeah, because that night, Buddy, he was on the drums. Oh, he was an animal. I was like, where did he get this? Oh my God. So yeah, that was a night right there. That was a night. Because life is not a game. It's all that we know.
One of my favorite songs called. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so many. It's so many. All right. So let's backtrack about when we have surprised people and they didn't know what was going on. Right?
Okay.
They just wanted. They was like, "Hey, we just gonna be a part of this."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you remember? And this is speaking about Heaven 1580. Do you remember the gospel prom?
Yes. Yes. At what was the name of that place? It's still there. We
March.
played at Martin Crosswinds. Yes. I remember that.
All
I
right. So
remember
let me
that.
set it up. Let me set it up. This is during
Okay.
prom season in the 90s,
At
right?
the end of, yeah, in the 90s, probably like 299,
Because
2000,
me
yeah.
and Drew was still in high school.
Oh, so you and Drew
I
was still
think.
in high school?
Or I may have just graduated.
Right. Because
May
Drew's
just-
behind you, right?
yeah, by a year.
Right.
Um, we played at this prom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know they did great because they promoted it on the radio and it was in the newspaper and all this type of stuff, right?
Yep.
And of course, this is before the internet pop. So
Mm-hmm.
the only way that you can consume information was the radio, the news,
TV.
feed, and the newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up playing, and then it was other proms in the other ballrooms, right?
Set the
So
joint up right.
we played, right? And then all these different schools came into the prom,
Yep.
right? So the prom that we were playing at probably had what, about 50, 60 people.
At the
And
most.
when we say they couldn't let, they had to kick people out.
It was no room in there. Yep. It had to be like, I think we emptied the other proms. I think it had to be like around almost like, and not exaggerating, probably like 400 people was in there at one point. And we was like, and we had the smaller ballroom. We were on the end. Remember, we was all on the end. And we had a smaller ballroom. But when we started clicking, we was like, and that went to a whole nother level. I remember that.
They was like, we want y'all to stay, but we cannot be responsible for y'all.
Right. Y'all got to go. Yep. But that was we had about so many of those moments. So that was good. Wow, you bring back stuff I forgot all about.
Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay. So okay. So let's do this. Let's open it up for let's open it up for the people watching.
Okay.
If you want to ask Damon a question, you have two ways to do it.
Okay.
You can put it in the comments, right? And we can have Damon answer your question right away. Or you can send a message to me on Gospel Go 411 on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to actually get on the screen and ask your question or say, something nice, give Damon his flowers, this is your opportunity. Let's see who's going to jump into the plate. Let's see who will do the thing. Let's see who will do the thing. All right. So while we getting that together, let's see let's see here. Is there, okay, you said charisma is still going on.
It is.
Okay, so hold up real quick. Please give everybody your resume.
What do you mean?
What you said you're currently a pastor. Where are you a
Yes.
pastor? What's going on?
Yes. So I started in 93 at Victory Christian Ministries International. And I've been with them literally for 32 years now. 31 years. 32 years. 33, my God. 33 years. So I started with Victory. I was just a member, teenage, young boy, getting into the gospel go, but coming to church. I did that for years. Then I had the opportunity to be the youth pastor or the team pastor at our Woodbridge location. And then probably like 3 months later, said, hey, they want you to take over the Suit location. So I was a team pastor. Me and my wife were team pastor. Pastor Portia Taylor was over the team ministry from, I forgot what the years we were, but we took that over and we did that for years. And then in 2010, we were launched out in Charles County. So me and my wife going on 15 years this year. We've been pastoring Victory Christian Ministries in Charles County, down here in White Plains, Maryland, right across the street from the Sky Zone. So if you ever come on down this way, this is where Jesus is, down this way. So we been doing that for literally for going on 15 years this year. So that's my kind of my resume. You know, we started off with Gospel Go Go and got me all the way here to pastoring now.
So check out this message
Mm-hmm.
from Life with Jocelyn J.
Yes.
BCMI Charles County changed
Mm-hmm.
my life. Pastor
Wow.
DeMond changed my life in 2014, and
Yes.
still current.
That's family right there. I don't know you remember my nephew Derek.
Oh yeah,
That's his wife. But let's take it even further. Her uncle was her uncle Joshua Generation. He was the starter of Joshua Generation.
really.
History. Yes, her uncle started Joshua Generation.
So between you and Jocelyn, this is what this is my special request.
Uh-huh.
I was going to leave this to the end.
Uh-huh.
My request is, okay, let me ask you this, right? Is there anybody that you would like to see on this platform so that we can discuss gospel go?
Yeah. There's so many people. I would definitely like to see her uncle. I mean, he's one of the pioneers. I mean, when I say the founding pioneers of gospel go, I'd definitely like to see CJ on it. I mean, he got so much. Reverend Lee. Reverend Lee was a pioneer for a lot of us. He gave submission. He gave us. Reverend Lee was. I mean, him and Pastor Bill. That's my mans right there. They gave us platforms, but we didn't have a platform. They built platforms for us. I think that was. Who else? There's so many people that I can think of. You gotta thank DeMont. Too, to come in. I mean, his wisdom alone. He's still doing it with Zion. I mean, my daughter goes to their youth programs. And I'm up there like, oh my God, he's still like he never missed a beat. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm fanboying him now. You know what I mean? He's still doing it. I mean, gotta bring Showtime. You know what I mean? The transition from him doing XIB to what he's doing now in ministry. I think I can go on and on. You know what I mean? You start looking at people that's in ministry but started in Gospel Go-Go or was a part in Gospel Go for other years. I think that you got to bring Curtis. You know what I mean? Curtis, I literally known he's been doing for over 30 some years. You know what I mean? You gotta bring Tony. You know what I mean? You got to the different eras. You know what I mean? I think those are a starting point. I can go on and on, but there definitely is a lot of people that we know that made an impact. You got to bring Eric Keller. I mean, he was one of those that literally gave Gospel Go-Go a platform, and he was from New York, and he came down here and said, you know what, y'all doing something. So those type of people, if you find Yolanda, get Yolanda. You know what I mean? I think those were all good points. You know what I mean? But I believe there was a lot of people that brought us where we was. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where we would be at. Honestly, Gospel Go-Go, we was at a place where we plateaued, and then during that complex years, that's when stuff started switching off and going crazy again. You know what I mean? It was a new era, it was a new sound, it was more, you know what I mean? But you gotta bring Preston. You know what I mean? I mean, he not only did with Extras, he went to God's Blend 2.0 and took it to another level. So I mean, a lot of these people, you gotta bring Marcus. You know, it's like certain people that you know that really who put work in and still putting work in to this day. So I hope that was a roster for you.
Yeah. Let's just say that Thursday nights, y'all know what to tune into.
Yes,
we go
sir.
talk Gospel Go on Thursday nights, right? So, speaking of someone that you named on the list, right? We'll do a quick little advertisement real quick. Ready?
Okay.
Let's do
go.
a quick little advertisement. All right. So, we're going to go ahead and announce that next week on March the 13th, we will have Reverend Lee.
Wow. Yes.
We're going to discuss everything starting from Ebenezer
Mm-hmm.
to the community of hope, and all that he has done, and and all that he has birthed in gospel go
Mm-hmm.
and go. We're gonna talk about it
All of it. Yep.
all of it.
I mean, he's
So,
still the only one that got praise and worship doing go go.
Frank, probably the best band in the city.
And got Googie still doing sound.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that little thing. About that little thing. All right. So,
That's oh well that's fire right there. That is fire.
and we just
And
get
then we're also doing what he's doing in the political arena. You know what I mean? How he's been an advocate. You know what I mean? Which is such needed, so needed in this season time of our life. So that I'm definitely gonna be tuning into that one.
yeah,
Well, you started off with fire.
we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Each week we bring in. Hold up. Can you say it for me? Can you say out the way that you say fire?
The word this week we bringing in fire. I can't do it now.
There you go.
I got warm my voice up.
All right. All right. So we're gonna talk about this comment from Antoine Rich.
Okay.
I'm new to Gospel Go Go. Is it any albums I can listen to or buy on iTunes? There's some more Gospel Go Go bands that I can listen to. Yes. If you go to Gospel Go Go 411 on Instagram, there's a link in the bio, and it takes you to the radio station. You can listen to it 24/7, right?
Yep.
Or if you look on the bottom left hand corner there's the address that you can type in your browser and take you right to the radio station, right?
Yep.
And also, Kirk DK, he started another Gospel Go Go radio station. So you have options, and there's music on YouTube. There's options. There's plenty of music everywhere. All right. So okay. So Damon, can you talk more about the band that you put together? Even though it looked like it may be for one night only, but I'm been praying that ain't the case. Can you tell us more about this band? What's the name of the band and what's going on?
So let's go all the way back. So this is my second time doing this. Actually, the first time I did it was in 2010. We did again crusades. We did outside the church when we was in Suitland. They still did, 3911 St. Paul's Road. We did a crusade there, and I did a band called One Time Only Band. So my goal was again, let me get this go out to life, and then literally we played on that Saturday, and I started church on Sunday. So my goal was, hey, you know what? I put a lot in. I put years in. Gospel Go Go. I put years in with managing and all this stuff. I put years in. Jay Fresh in. I put years in. Good drummer. And I put years in. I said, let me get out of it. So I had literally hadn't been in the band or did anything for like at the time 13 years. So I said, you know what, for my birthday, my 50th, I want to do something different. So I said, let me see if I can put the band together. So I got with I had the opportunity or privilege to have my man Marcus, that's been with me forever, go to my church, and then Brandon also goes to my church, and Paul, who from God's Blend, go to church. And so we had some people come to church. I said, you know what, I'm thinking about putting a band together for just my birthday. So we put work in, and we was able to put out a band for my birthday. And I wish it would we had something to show for right now, but we still working on it a couple years later. But I'm definitely thinking about doing something. We'll see how it go. But there was an honor and privilege to have, because we had Quab from POC on the Congos. We had Pap from POC that was on the bass. That was so good. Again, we had Paul from God's Blend, Brandon from Newfound Love, Marcus Xodus Band. We had Renzo. We had Israel from ICB Radical. Praise. We had Tamika. She sings all over the place. So we had a nice sound. We had a nice band. So I think if we had a little bit more time to get it, we were clicking on all cylinders. Then we had we had Savoy come on. He was on Timbali, so he plays with Out the Box. So we had a nice time. So I have to think about that was big for me on my birthday. Let's put it that way. It was a nice crowd too. I said, all right, there we go. The people love me. So we had fun that night.
Yeah, you
Definitely
know.
have fun.
Come on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And thanks for y'all coming out. That meant a lot. Definitely meant a lot, man. Then when you get superstars like Andrew to come out the house too, to come. I mean, that was big right by itself. So definitely no. So that was a good band. We called it Off the Humble, just like we just did this. Let's see what happens, and it worked out. So we do need it. Oh, Corey, my God, I haven't seen his face or his name in a long time. That's the Ebenezer right there. You know what I mean? We need, we do need an old school reunion party. Just if we did a listening party, you know what I mean? Man, I got the facility. Come on up here. We do a listening party and put some instruments up and just see what we do. You know what I mean? That could be. So I thought about that too. Why don't we just bring out the instruments, the drums, and everybody get behind it? Remember this song? You know what I mean? We just do have a sit back listening party. So.
You know, you just brought back a memory to me.
What was that? Say it again.
You remember at the Friday night jams?
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking that it may have been the very first Go-Go Fest that we did.
Okay.
It was POC and Submission was there. That
Mm-hmm.
I think Commandments may have played too. I'm not sure. But
Okay.
do you remember Fantasy Band?
I know that name. I remember that. I don't know who was in that band, but go ahead.
No, it's not a band.
We put everybody together. Everybody got on instruments. I remember that. Yes.
So like, you would have somebody from Submission on the drums. You have somebody from us on the mic, but it would be a total mixture, and then we would play each other's songs.
That'd be hot. Can you imagine if you have a basket for drummers, basket for the Congo players, and you go in, you gotta pick a player, and everybody get on the instrument. Now that'd be fire. That'd be fire. Hey, I got a church that we can do that at. We come right here. It's whatever. You know what I mean? It's whatever. You know what I mean? That would be fire. That'd be fire. I think just to keep the culture going, because I'm not saying to get it started. The culture is on fire. We got. I mean, we might not have like the 20, because at time we had like 20 gospel go-go bands and with radical praise and that era. All those people at the same time, like you go show everywhere. We were saturating the area. So now I think probably like 5, but hey, we keep the culture going, fire it back up. Why not? That would be nice. That'd be very nice.
We've always had like,
yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, if you red hot, it like cool off a little bit. Then it get red hot, cool off.
Come back up.
Just
keep
so
pushing.
hey.
Yep. We had 2.0s, 3.0s, 4.0s. You know, but let's get it back. You know what I mean? Because you had the old school bands too that was giving like you said, crazy praise and what is the band? Oh, he's been around for. So to get Posse for Christ, been you know what I mean? 1.0, 2.0, now on 3. You know what I mean? And they've always been solid. You know what I mean? Always been solid. So definitely, I love it. I love it. One thing I won't ever take out is gospel go-go in my life. I love it. So
yeah.
Now
go ahead.
Any more questions up there? I'm about to say, any more questions?
All right, we'll just keep it going until we get somebody to pop in. But
that'll work.
Let's see here. Okay, so speaking back to the Ebenezer show, right?
Yeah.
I believe that we may have been the very first gospel go-go band. I mean, not even gospel, just go-go band, period, to play at Crossing High School.
Wow. That might be it, because I remember that night.
They may have had bands back.
I don't remember. I went to Cross. I don't remember go back. I don't remember. I don't know. I remember they were down the street bumpers, but that's what,
right.
You know what I mean? That was low boy bands played there. Everybody exclusive and all them. But I don't remember no band coming out of. I'm sorry, I don't remember no band coming out of Crossing like that. We might, because I think Submission, it was us and Submission. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I remember one time we was outside of we inside Crossing. I think we did it like twice.
They used to do it. That was a New Year's service,
right?
For they have all the youngins come,
and like around 1 or 2. Yep.
They will. Okay. Let's set it up so people can get a vision. Right.
Mhm.
So you have your main gym. Just
Mhm.
watch your PG County High School. You got your main gym, and then you got your lower gym or your small gym.
Mhm.
We played in the small gym. You know how
Yep.
big a basketball gym is in PG County?
Mhm.
Imagine. Okay, so the stage is at one end of the court, so literally you can touch the backboard, right? You can touch the backboard, and we. Okay, so when we say we played at pack shows,
Mhm.
this might take the cake for pack shows. Ebenezer used to do it. I mean, they did it, right? Um, Literally from the front of the gym to the
Mhm.
back of the gym, and they still couldn't get everybody in.
Yep. I remember that. Wow. Wow. And
Played
and, and and consistently on a New Year's Eve. You know what I mean? That I'll never forget that. Those were the moment, and the stage was high. You know what I mean? So we would look. You know what I mean? It was like you could see it throughout the whole crowd. The whole crowd. They had music on. They had That was those moments right there.
I
Those moments.
remember, I can't recall which one it was because we played in the main gym a couple
Mm-hmm.
times too.
Yep,
Um,
we did.
but we played in the lower gym, and Big G was there that night.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he was there that night, and
wow.
he didn't get on and play. He just got up there and said a few things, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we
We
yeah
put in work. It's a lot. We got a lot. I was thinking about that time we was at Living Waters again. We opened for D-Roc. Do you remember that?
yep.
That was big. We had a lot of moments. A lot of moments that honestly, different churches and different people that did. Talking about the few times that we was rejected or put out of churches, we had so many other churches that put us on. You know what I mean? We played at firehouses. We played at, you know what I mean? We played at on bases. We put in work. When we played older than Firehouse, we played at, you know what I mean? We played.
We played in jail.
We played in jail.
Uh,
Yeah, Cheltenham. We played at. Remember we played at Cheltenham and we played in one in Virginia.
yep, yep.
Cause I
We
remember we was in Cheltenham. I'm like, did y'all just lock us in this joint? We can't get out.
right.
What's happening here?
So if something happened,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
riot.
It was on lockdown. They start fighting. Somebody got stabbed or something. I remember that. And we was on lockdown. We couldn't even leave. We're like, what? I mean, we're not staying here. So, yep. We put in work. We definitely put in a whole lot of work. Dang. That stuff I forget all about. You bring it all back. Bring it
Um,
all back. Yeah, we
okay.
played this in jail.
Do you remember this? Okay, I believe this was the first time that DJ Rico heard us.
Okay.
We were playing at a. Okay, do you remember Hoop It Up back in the day?
Yeah, it was hooped up. It was like the basketball tournament type joint outside, and we was like on Independence Avenue, right in the middle of the street, playing. And DJ Rico, and I think he cussed. What
Yeah.
the?
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that night. That day. Yeah, it was hot as a mug out there. But yep, he's like, y'all cranking. So yep, I'll never forget that. Yep.
What? Okay. I think is there anything else to cover because we talked about.
We talked about a lot.
Okay. Is there anything that if you could go back and do it different, what would it be related to
Related to what? Say one more time.
Exodus Band?
Um, I must say honestly, I think my leadership style. No man, again, I was growing in ministry and growing in God as I was going to do so, and then growing to be the leader. I mean, so maybe some things I might have done, or maybe some things I might have did differently. I think in all those transitions, it was a lot of transitions. I mean, probably some way again, just immaturity, and then be honest, didn't know what to do and what not to do. I would have did some things different. You know what I mean? The sound was there, the ministry was there. I just think this growth in ministry and growth in leadership is something I probably would have did different or would have built on. You know what I mean? So
I think God gave us
yeah.
a path to get to where we need to get.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. Yeah, sir. That's true.
But
spiritual harmony. Whew, you see that?
Let me read this real quick. Let me set this up. All right. So we have Candace Gates.
Wow.
So if you were privileged enough
Mm-hmm.
to experience a Friday night jam, there was a phenomenal singing group that opened up for us. That
Mm-hmm.
group was called Spiritual Harmony.
Yes,
We're
sir.
talking about superstar singers.
Yes.
Like if we like this, they should have had their own group and pushed out. They were
Mm-hmm. CDs.
they were
They could have did CDs.
good, right? So Candace Yates
Mm-hmm.
was a superstar singer,
Mm-hmm.
musician,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, that's why she played keyboard too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. She does. No, can she does. Right. Wow.
You had okay. Nicole was in the group.
Nicole Halliburton.
Mm-hmm. Who else was
Portia.
Portia?
It was
Wasn't
Candace.
wasn't Kia in it too? Was she in it?
No, I think she was, but you had come on, I can't think of their names right now. Angie.
Right. Yes. Yes.
You had Nicole, other Nicole,
Right. Yeah.
little Tony. You know what I mean? You had it was so many people that came through there, but that was like the base of it. Who else? It was some. I think Kid was involved. I can't think, but they held it down. Oh, we can't forget Stacy. She passed away, but Stacy was there.
Yeah.
It was I can't think of it, but they had a nice sound, spiritual harmony. Yes, yes, I love that. They came with set your mind on things above. Ooh, set your mind. Yep. Angie Taja was there. And Taja, she sing with the joint up the band up Gaithersburg now. What is that band called? I can't think of the band right now. But yeah, Taja, I forgot about Taja. Yes. Kid, yep, Can't, yep, that's P, yep, there you go. Nicole, Angie, yep, they all there. Yep. So we one thing at one point 5840 was putting out some groups. We had some nice groups. Definitely had some nice groups. And then we got the rap. We didn't forget about the rap joints. They put out rap groups too. So we did that too. And then they started doing the crump dancing and all that stuff. So we had a lot of, I must say, we had a lot. Wow.
Talking about Victory Lane here.
That's Victory Lane, right? You just took me all down, back down memory lane. That was, and then do you remember when we put Xodus and Spiritual Harmony together?
Yes.
Oh, Malika.
Yes.
Yes, remember Xodus and Spiritual Harmony together, and what was the name of that group? Effectual Inspiration.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Dang.
Okay, question for you.
Uh-huh.
None of the ladies from Spiritual Harmony like really played with XB. What was that about?
I don't know. They never. I really don't know. I must say, when we first started back in the days, though, it was TT. I don't know if you remember TT and Travis, which was Taja's brother. Taja's brothers, and we used to practice with them years ago. And I think at the beginning, Taja might have started with us, and Candy. You know what I mean? Because Candy we used to practice at their house too. Years. That's when we first started back in the day, and that's when we all came together. Yep. Yep. So we did for a second. You know what I mean? Some of because Taja started, I think, and then we had practice. Yep. Dang, that was so long ago. Dang. Yeah, I forgot Elder David was in that too. Yep. That's history. Dang, that's long. The more we keep digging stuff up, we be like, dang.
Right.
We need to just do a 5840 reunion. That's what we need to do. A 5840 reunion. Now that would be it. If you get XB, you get ICB, you get Spiritual Harmony, that 5840 reunion. That might be the power, right? That might be a beast move right there. And then because the rapper, I forgot the rapper's name. What was the rapper's name?
Sons of Thunder.
Sons of Thunder, yes,
Yeah,
right.
man.
All the Sons of Thunder. Remember the Sons of Thunder? They used to also help us pack up XBSS. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Support staff.
So fast, so it starts that XBSS. Yep. Wow,
You
that
know,
was back in the day.
Night Jam, the Friday Night Jam was really the college.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really was. We
Mm-hmm.
is like you said before. There's so many people that has graced that state.
So many people that you would think, you were like, what? Where are they at now? You know what I mean? A lot of people that you didn't think, but it literally was like one of those. I must say, it was like kind of like the Showtime. Did you say Showtime Apollo?
Yeah,
It literally was that 5840 reunion would be. I think that would be. We might have to work on that 2025. That was it called the Friday Night Jam. Don't we call it? 5840 reunion. That was. We had a lot of people. A lot of people come out of that one. That would be a show. As a matter of fact, we gonna try to rent 5840. It's
okay.
still a church. It's a church there. I would try to rent that joint and just go right into it. Why? Why? I mean, can you imagine just go back to the beginning? Only thing is we need some parking though. We got to do a shuttle or something.
Hey, hey, let's do it. Because that was one thing about that gospel go-go fest that we talked about earlier. Park all the way up and down Kirby Road.
to the guy at Old Branch Avenue, all the way down. Yep, I remember that. That was wow.
We
Dang.
we were like, I think we did right, but are we gonna get in trouble for this?
Yeah, we was get that. They was trying to tow stuff. They was trying to put. I mean, literally, we had all of that. You know what I mean? Everybody was kind of hating on that one, but we did good though. That was 5840. What's that? Everybody know 5840. 5840. That was on the map.
That was
Yeah.
like going to what was that club that was right there at Andrews? That was like going to the parking was like how it used to be for the classes.
Yep, exactly.
Down everywhere.
Exactly. I mean, it was like kind of like the same area. Yep. Further down. Yep. That would be ass. We should put that together.
Hey,
You got me thinking now. That 5840.
so we got we got to do a complex or reunion.
Oh.
We got to do a Friday Night Jam reunion.
No, we're gonna call it gospel. We're gonna call it Gospel Go-Go Fest reunion.
Gospel Go-Go Fest reunion.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do the Bounce Beat reunion.
Got to. Yep. Yep.
Like we got work to do.
Work to do. Yeah. We got all summer. We got some months put together for the summertime. You know what I mean? But I mean, that was those. I must say, those moments and those times, honestly, was monumental for our gospel community right now. Because you can look at a lot of people that grew up during that time, and you can see them in ministry now, just woven. They were pastors, ministers, people that was, you know what I mean, the praise and worship leaders. I mean, but those moments when we did gospel go-go, people, I mean, sometimes think, oh, what did we do? We made an impact, and still make an impact that here generations later. My daughter loves gospel go-go. My daughter loves, you know what I mean. She ain't never seen me play, you know what I mean. But she was able to see me play on my birthday. But they're able to go back and look at the history. Look, I mean, I think it's so important. You know, we do that. Like to do the reunion. That would be powerful right there. That would be powerful.
So check this out. Do you have
mine going down?
Do you have a copy of Complex, the DVD that Ebenezer did?
I don't have a copy. I remember they did it. I don't have it.
I should have a copy around here somewhere. If not, I should already have it digitally. So I just got to put my hands on with a file.
Find out. Oh my God, that was history right there. That was history.
But check this out. Corey, that was just on, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that he told me this years ago, but he's about to go and look and see if he still got it. He said he got a whole bunch of stuff that all of us used to do, all the bands used to do with Ebenezer. So we're feeling what he might really got. He might have shows, all that stuff.
Let's go. I think. Do you remember one time we did Ebenezer outside at Ebenezer in the parking lot? That was a big. And the big stage was out there. That was big too. So yeah, definitely. If he can find that stuff, let me know. We need that's called history. You know what I mean? Shoot, I'm telling you, we put our own museum together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or when it's time to get into the Go Museum, we already have all our data, everything that just what we used to do, pictures, videos. You know what I mean? Sound bites, that type of stuff. So.
We can definitely make sure that they have update on
Mm-hmm.
whatever they got, right?
Yep. Definitely.
Um,
Damn, cause we got history. We got history. So anybody, or everybody that's on the call, if y'all watch it now or later, if y'all got something, make sure you hit up Gospel Go 411, give it to him. You know what I mean? I think him and DK, I know historians. So let's keep that going. Definitely gotta keep that going. Definitely.
yes, indeed. Okay. So, hey, y'all got any questions? What the questions
Right.
at? Right. This guy's questions. He's here for you. Oh, if you want to get one of these hoodies,
Yep, I got mine. T-shirt.
You can go to welovegogo.us, and there is a whole section for Gospel Go-Go.
I love it.
So,
you gotta tell them about that exclusive joint.
Oh yeah,
with the picture on it when we was on the speaker. Set that joint up with Xodus Band. We was at the complex, and literally the speakers would be like 12 feet high. We would get up on the speakers while we was playing, and he got a picture on one of his T-shirts or even sweatshirts that is fire. So definitely good quality and everything.
Take it down memory lane.
Yeah.
But like this, they were so high on the speakers, they could jump on the balcony.
Yep.
Right there.
And to give that, we had to have a ladder. They put a ladder over behind it.
They let the guys, them angels,
yeah, because we was way up there.
We're moving too. Like they wasn't the most secure things.
No, because the bass was coming through it. Everything was coming through it. So, but we had a powerful time, man. Definitely had a powerful time. So,
all right. So we got a question from Candace. Yeah. When did the band start? What year was that?
That was 93. We started. Back in 1993 is when we started. Again, that's probably when we first came around was me, Pug, Tony, TT, Travis, Taja. We used to have practice up there. I think it was in the house in the attic. You know, they had an attic back way, and I think Candy, you lived around there. So Candy, yeah. So around that time when we first started, I think they was having praise team practice there too. So yeah, it was when 93, yeah, like 93. Yep.
So was Victory at Kirby Road, or were they at Sarasville High School at that time?
I think we was in transition. I think Sarasville was like 92 into 93. So I think in 93 is when we transitioned over. 93, beginning 94 is when we transitioned over to 5840 Kirby Road. And we stayed there for, I want to say 12, 15 years. Oh. And then, because now even we're at Suitland, we've been there for 15 years now.
It's been 15 years.
It might be longer than that. Honestly, it might be like longer than that right now. We've been there for some years. Yeah. Yeah, let's put it this way. It got to be like 17 years. 17 years, because before we became pastors, we was already there. I think we got it in like 2006, something like that.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Right. Okay, hold on. We got another question. Keep up. Okay, real quick. Okay, so Candace said, yes, I lived up the street. We did have praise and worship there too.
Yep, I remember that. Because I used to sit there when they had praise and worship there at the house.
All right, we got from Miss Brenda, can we get a new 2025 Go-Go Band?
Right, we need that. We might have worked. I'm gonna have to get with your son and get with your son-in-law and figure out what we can do. You know.
And we have a guest appearance from Miss Brenda.
Oh yeah, but she can start to join on with a song. Yes, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? That's easy work. we put the keyboard out. Just sit it in front. Let's go.
Right. All right. Apostle Tanya Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
What was one of your worst memories with the band? Oh wow. Hey.
I didn't have a lot of those. I think One of my worst memories would have been honestly, my worst memory was when I knew my time was up. You know what I mean? It was kind of it became more work than it was ministry. And I knew if God was moving into other arenas of ministry, because right when I left the band is when I started literally serving Pastor Tony and then going into youth ministry and all that type of thing. But it was like it was hard for me. It wasn't ministry anymore. I think that was the transition from to being. I think that was probably my worst memory during that time. So.
Hey, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
it was hard. It was so hard because again, I did it for 10 years straight, from '93 to 2003. You know what I mean? And that was day in day out. I seen it grow from literally an idea, and you know what I mean, to what it was. So that was like my hard, just transitioning out.
Okay, so Miss Brenda says, I'm
I'm
in.
in. I'm in it. You know what I mean? I'm with you. Hey, trust me. Trust me. I'm gonna start making some calls, talking through. What can we do? You know what I mean? So definitely. But that was, you know, I mean, just by herself, she's a pioneer. You know what I mean? She's been in the gospel around in the DMV area for decades, and she's made an impact on so many people. Um, that you know, I mean, a lot of these singers that you hear now, you know, I mean, she's impacted them. So I hats go off to Miss Brenda. She's definitely a goat in this game. Definitely.
Sure, sure. Candace agrees too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they.
Okay. From Chanel Young, what was your most important lesson you learned from your bandmates? And hold up, let me that's my girl. Everyone
Oh.
there. She,
Okay.
she's a part. She thank you for asking your okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got you. Hey, you want to say something else?
Love you.
Right. Right. Honestly, this is one of the most first times being in a band was brotherhood for me. Um, there was that. I mean, I think that I learned that's one of the lessons I learned how to be friendly, how to be vulnerable. Because we was always around each other. It wasn't practice. We was doing the show. It wasn't a show. We was doing. We were literally doing life together. So I think I learned how to be patient. I learned the fruit of the spirit. I learned how to love. I learned how to have long suffering. I know how to have some self control. I mean, the bandmates really the Bible says iron sharpens iron. It pulled the good out you and it pulled the bad out you. Sometimes you didn't know what's in you until you got in certain situations. I mean, we got places we about to fight. We got a place where we about to what I mean. It was a lot. There's got a place that what I mean where people was there didn't know they was there for you. So I think that was a big thing. Just taught me how to become better as a person, as a bandmate. That was one to learn. What about you, Ty? What was it?
Um,
There you go, Jay Stewart. There you go, my man. He's still playing drums with the police department.
yes, yes.
Yep, legend. Yes, he's been around for years.
I would say, um, the most important lesson I learned is to practice,
Yeah.
to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the most dedicated to practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that could, I would probably say that was one of the main reasons why I didn't stay in gospel
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
as a musician. But I would say focus on practicing, practice your craft,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be excellent at what you do.
Yep.
So you can take that lesson into any aspect of life.
Yep. That's so true. That's so true.
Dedicate yourself to being excellent at everything you do. Because that was one of the main lessons that you taught us,
Mm-hmm.
that you instilled in us. We
Yep.
doing everything excellent, no matter what it is. And we practice how we do. So if you up there just chilling while you practice,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you gonna play.
Yep. Yep, that's big for life with everything that we do. You know what I mean? But it's so important because we see that now when you see people who when they practice. You know what I mean? And we see when they don't practice. You know what I mean? But I always say it's the things behind the door that shows up when you're on the stage. You know what I mean? We can tell you practice or not. You know what I mean? And then we say no matter when you practice, I don't care if we play for one person or 1,000 people. We're gonna play like if it was 1,000 people in that room. And we always did that. That's one thing I said we cranked all the way through. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love you too. Oh, the babe. Oh, look at that.
That's what we do. All right. So, from your brother-in-law.
Literally married to my sister. Oh, yes. 20, what time? 20, 27 years this year?
Make sure you say it right, brother.
28 this year. 28 this year.
All right. How was the financial compensation for the band? That is a great question.
Ooh, at the beginning, we did not get any money. At the beginning. Then we got to a place when we did get money. We had to buy instruments. We had, you know what I mean? We had buy our own congos. I still trying to figure out where those congos went. We had the blue keyboard. We had keyboards, drums, sticks, all this stuff. But then we got to a place where, honestly, with the compensation, it was. I don't know. Did we get paid any?
We got paid once a year.
It was like we had like a stipend or something, right? Yeah. Because when we was coming up, the bank they wasn't paying us. It was like, hey, thanks for coming. Y'all want something to eat? You know what I mean? So, right. And the money we did get, it was for instruments. But I think, I don't know how it works now, but for us, it is what it is. I didn't.
Oh, these bounce beat bands, they were handling business. Let's just say that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Praise God. I'm glad they was able to handle it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how our financial compensation was for the band. I mean, it just depends. We believe God.
We did it for love. For real.
Yep.
For real. So. All right. So Jeff, now you was dedicated, bro. You used to come to the opposite way to pick me up and go back to the opposite way to practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember first seeing. Another history lesson about XP. For a very long time, I don't think we were allowed to have outside musicians or people come into the band.
At the beginning, yep.
And then it was just like an influx of people. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the backstory on how we were allowed to let other people into the band that was not in Victory Christian Ministry.
Because at first the band wasn't like we started as a department of Victory Christian Ministries. So again, the goal was you had to be part of the ministry, just like how most departments and ushers, greeters, all this stuff. So that's how it started. I think when we really made a transition when we brought Dante in. And Dante was still part of Spirit of Faith, and Pastor Tony and of course Pastor Mike, they've been friends for years, you know what I mean? So we would do men's conference together, men's meeting together years ago. So that was how the transition started. So when we was able to do that, that's when we was able to open it up to other people. So that's how that started. So, but at first, honestly, we started as just a department. Then we went from a department, honestly, to a band.
Gotcha. All right. So then that's how we were able to get P. Preston and Pep. They both came from Spirit of Faith too.
Exactly.
Faith City.
Faith City. Where you at, Faith City? Yeah. So and then we was able to bring people in that audition and practiced, and then, there was so many people that came through. So that's how that started. We was up. Dante one started, and everybody just kept ripple effect in.
Because Jeff came in and Vince came in at the same time.
I remember that. Yeah, and we played somewhere. It was
National Christian.
Yes. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Vince played for one show.
Yeah.
One show. Mm-hmm. We ain't seen Vince since. Vince,
he had to go out there. Is he a firefighter or police officer?
Police officer.
Yeah, so they had to go out there and serve and protect.
True.
Because I think he did like 20-some years now. I think he about to retire.
Probably so. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Jeff retired too. I think that's right.
Oh,
Um,
about to, yeah, want to,
yeah,
yep.
but yeah, I saw Jeff playing drums. I think we went to. I think I was at like a church talent show or something
Oh,
out
wow.
out New Carrollton or
Okay.
Lanham or something like that. I,
Wow.
I was like, I hear, I know what I hear.
Hmm.
Even though he was playing with like a church group or something, I was
Right.
like, hey, he's like, hey,
Right. Right. Right.
let's try it. That was it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
all right. So let's see here. Um, okay, Candace, practice
Yep.
was crucial, even for us girls.
Hmm.
We were so serious. Demond, I believe you were the driver for all of us.
Yep.
Yeah,
But when I say we put in work, we put in practice, you know. And then so when we got on the stage, it was everything just clicked. It was easy then because we knew each other, we practiced, and we would get in like sometimes we would get in at 7 o'clock and leave out there like 12, 1. I was like, what? We gotta get up early in the morning to go to work. But we put in work and we see the results of it.
that's true. That's true. Let's okay. Let me give y'all some framework on how hard Demond used to work, and then still come to practice and everything. He would go to work for FedEx, and I believe you were going all the way to Gaithersburg,
Gettysburg, Maryland. Yep.
and the church was in Clinton, Maryland.
Hmm.
This is all the time.
4 o'clock in the I had to be at work at 4 in the morning. And I would leave. Sometimes when we had jams, leave at 1 o'clock. I would go home, take a shower, get on the road at 2 to get up to work on Saturday, and come every day except for Sunday.
Dedication.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. You remember that? Yeah, I was.
And they would come pick us up.
Yep, yep. I was thinking about that the other day. I said, "Ty, I used to pick up Drew when he lived in Fairfax Village over there that way, and then take him to practice. We used to go to practice. I, I, if I had a way, I was gonna pick y'all up. We was gonna get to practice, and we're gonna get there on time too.
Go, go. All right. Uh, man, be man. Okay, man, be trying to get Vince to come sing with us, and he wouldn't do it.
Right, right, right.
True. Oh man, errors. The errors.
Three more
3 days.
years. 3 more years.
Hey, you didn't
Yeah,
put
and
your
he
band
and
brothers.
he was in the band with somebody I grew up with in high school. Raymond Mincy. This band would sing, play saxophone. He was in the police band. So definitely, I was like that. Look how God bring people back together. That's when I was at what was it at Susan Junior High School. He was in junior high school with me. So
True, true. So Jeff said it was a youth event. Hey,
okay,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
we had a lot of those.
All right, so Keith is okay. What state is Keith in right now?
I think Florida,
Okay, Keith be in every state.
right? Yeah, in Florida now.
So okay, so Juneteenth.
Hey, we got time to work on it.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out. Do something.
Figure it out.
We might have to bring Chucky out from Mississippi. He's down Mississippi.
Hey,
We
that's
might
what
bring Chuck. Yeah,
hey,
he's still singing. Say it again.
that ain't nothing but a flight.
Ain't nothing but a flight. Ain't nothing but a flight.
Um, okay. So, is there anything else we need to cover? Talk about
I
it.
think we did a lot. So it was good. Very good. I just thank God for Gospel Go Go. I thank God for what everybody's doing. You know what I mean? It's something that was a dream over 30 years ago, and to see it still going on 30 years later, man, I just didn't like just on. I said this past weekend I had the opportunity to go to the Shark Bar just to sit and see, dang, we still doing it and still cranking. You know what I mean? Dang, we still lifting up God. People still got, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Just the evolution of it from all the eras to where we are today. God is good. I mean, even they're taking it, put it into youth conferences, ministries. Like when they go to Zion, I see two still putting the next level, next generation of bands together. It's just it's big. So I always say it's an honor and privilege to be part of Gospel Go community. I do. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. I don't think it ain't gonna be nothing after it. You know what I mean? As we keep it going, it's an honor. It's such an honor.
Agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
So,
Real. All right. So we've been over here almost 3.5 hours strong.
stop. What?
Yeah. We've been cooking for almost 3.5 hours.
Dang.
For everybody that has tuned in, that has stuck with us for all of this time,
I
we
appreciate
want
it.
we want to thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But we know some of us got to get up early in the morning.
Got work to do. Right.
You can catch this replay because it definitely will be on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch it on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you caught it, you
Yep.
can catch it some more. You can break it down. You can go back to the beginning if you missed it. You can just keep watching. And don't forget, let me pull this up real quick. Next week, next Thursday, coming to the platform, we have Reverend Tony Lee of Community of Hope. And from the younger years, y'all might know him from Ebenezer AME. You might know him from what he does in politics. Hey, everybody know Reverend. So we gonna get the gospel go-go stories behind the crank on next Thursday. Tune in at 7 o'clock. And from your man Delano and our special guest, our first guest, Mr. Damon Teller, Pastor Damon, D-Roc, whatever you want to call him. Hey, we thank you for tuning in, and we wish you all a good night.
Good night.